now. Going to work on Denny Hamlin. Goes right to his bumper midway down the backstretch. Separation about a half a car length. They'll both dive to the bottom of the racetrack. Pull on that steering wheel to the left and paint that white line.
We talked about a couple of big-name drivers starting in the back. They are still there. I'm watching Kyle Busch right now as he dashes down this front stretch here. He is really struggling in that number 8 machine, Rob Albright. He has not picked up a spot as of yet.
No, he has not, and I think he's just getting a feel for the car. He had no laps in this backup machine before rolling it out today, and he's just going to ride around for a time and then probably see what he's got before he starts making passes. Yeah, Kyle Busch working down the middle of the backstretch now as he works into turns 3 and 4. No side-by-side battles right now. Everybody sorting it out early on.
We talk about Kyle Busch. Again, he is back there in the 35th position, already 11 and a half seconds behind the leader as he continues to struggle.
You might as well just ride back there. There's nothing to really worry about. Now, Brad Keselowski goes to the inside of Todd Gilliland exiting turn number 2. That opens the inside lane. Maybe an opportunity for Kyle now to push up. Watch and see if he can pick up a position here as he works under Austin Hill, teammate there in RCR. Hill in the number 33 car here today.
We're thrilled to have with us today the driver of the 0-0 for Stewart Haas and the reigning Xfinity Series champion Cole Custer. Cole, early on here, we are single file all the way from first to last here. Why is everybody driving down to the bottom of the racetrack this early on?
Well, everybody's waiting for that resin, the leftover resin from the years past to come in. So even though everybody's fighting for the bottom right now, the top did hold on decent to start the race. So I think about after 15, 20 laps, they're going to start moving up.
So we'll see if Cole proves to be a prophet here, as right now there's not a single side-by-side battle out on the racetrack, Mark Arrow, but that's not uncustomary here at the start at TMS.
Here's some bad news for everybody. Right now, 29.747 for Kyle Larson out front. He is running the fastest laps. Cole, it almost looks like he's running qualifying laps right now. Ty Gibbs, about 10 car lengths back. He's the only guy in the same zip code with Kyle Larson.
Yeah, you see Kyle Larson and Ty Gibbs, they're matching their lap times. They're going tit for tat really up front, but they're the class of the field right now. They got about 20 car lengths on the next few cars, so they're really getting after it.
Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilley.
Mark, I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter if someone's running first like Kyle Larson or 10th like Michael McDowell. The story is the same between both of them. Tight in 3 and 4. They're comfortable in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is where they need the most help right now.
And you look at the lap times, here's what always blows me away about NASCAR, Cole. You have 29.8 up front, down in the 32nd position, Todd Gilliland running 30.8. So those top 30 cars all within 1 second of each other.
This is the tightest we have ever seen the field in NASCAR. The whole field is so close. It only takes one little thing to make you fall 10 spots. So if you can make that one little adjustment right on a pit stop, you can gain a lot.
Oh, we heard Brad Gilley a moment ago talk about all the drivers complaining that it's tight down in 3 and 4. For the layperson, what does that mean in my passenger car?
Pretty much your car's just going straight. You're coming up to the intersection. You're trying to turn left, but it's just going straight through it. So the front tires just don't, it feels like your front tires are on ice. So it's very hard to get the car to turn. And I think those guys are really fighting some dirty air right now behind people. So they're hoping that the lanes can widen out so they can get the front end to work.
We're now 12 laps deep into stage number 1 of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Kyle Larson has the lead by 1.1 seconds over Ty Gibbs. The rest of our current top 5, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Chase Briscoe.
This is NASCAR racer Michael Waltrip with Echo Park, the official used car of Speedway Motorsports. I'm inviting you to Echo Park's Coffee Cup Series. This NASCAR season, me and Echo Park will be arriving to the tracks early to meet fans over a cup of coffee and check out some of their cars. Plus, you can win a VIP ticket upgrade and ride in a pace car. Ooh, talk about a whole new meaning to pre-race jitters. Echo Park, every car, happy owner.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, 14 laps down. Ty Gibbs starting to cut into the lead of Kyle Larson. We'll pick that story up shortly. Right now, top 5, Larson, Gibbs, Christopher Bell, Reddick, and Chase Briscoe. From TMS, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
A NASCAR moment with Doug Rice and Kyle Petty.
They established the Hall of Fame. First two people that get in, besides your dad, is Bill France Sr. and Bill Jr. Now, I'm thinking that your time behind the wheel overlapped with Bill Jr. didn't
Yes,
it?
for sure. For sure. I was called to the truck many times while Bill Jr. was in there. What I remember about Bill Jr. as much as anything was him sitting and talking to my granddad. You sit down at the racetrack and they would talk about where the sport was and where the sport was going. You know, I'll never forget, we were doing some stuff. I was called to the truck and I was reminded gently by Bill France Jr. that this was his sport. And if I would like to participate in his sport, that I needed to kind of change my ways. And I changed my ways so that I could participate in his sport. But I think the vision that Bill Sr. had for where the sport could be, Bill Jr. looked at it and said, we're there. Now let's take it someplace different. Bill Jr. had that passion. To the day he passed, he had that passion for this sport.
I'm Richard Petty. As we honor Doug Rice this season, here's another great moment from more than 35 years on PRN.
At the tender age of 25, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will lay claim to his first NASCAR Winston Cup victory at the Texas Motor Speedway as he takes the DirecTV 500 at the same speedway where he captured his first NASCAR Busch Series victory.
Hey, Doug, have a happy retirement.
By the way, Doug Rice, congratulations on your induction today to the Texas Motor Speedway Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Mark. I had no idea that was going to happen. I thought maybe they were going to give me a steer or something. So
I was hoping for a pony.
yeah, they've already done that. So that was a real thrill. I appreciate Mark Faber and all the folks here at TMS for extending me that great honor to be in the TMS Hall of Fame. Let's check in now with Alan Cavana.
Well, an early shout out to the number 14 of Chase Briscoe running in the top 5. The last 2 times we've been here, guys, he has started outside the top 30. Yet Chase Briscoe has managed to drive through the field and come home with top 10 finishes. Well, today, he figured out the qualifying deal because he started top 5. That's where he's running right now. A lot of feedback on the radio from the team just telling him where Kyle Larson is running on the track, how he's approaching some of these corners. Same thing with information about Tyler Reddick, where Chase Briscoe can maybe make up a little bit. They want him to fix his entry a little bit into turn 3 as he chases another and trying to improve on that top 5 right now.
Thanks a lot, Alan. Chase Briscoe, this has been a good track for him in 3 starts here. He's had a top 5, and his average finish is 10th. And Mark, at a tough racetrack like this, if you're averaging a 10th place finish, you've earned your money.
Any place you're averaging around a 10th place finish and you've run it a number of times, you've certainly put in your time and done it well. Kyle Larson, for a little while, it looked like Ty Gibbs was starting to eat into his advantage. Now Larson easing away a bit. His lead over Gibbs now 1 second. Christopher Bell is 3rd. Tyler Reddick 4th. Chase Briscoe 5th. Ryan Blaney is 6th. 7th is William Byron. 8th, Austin Cindric. Bubba Wallace 9th. 10th is Michael McDowell.
Martin Truex Jr. is 11th, 12th to Denny Hamlin. Alex Bowman 13th, 14th, Ross Chastain. 15th is Carson Hocevar. Chris Buescher is 16th. Austin Dillon 17th. Noah Gragson rides 18th. 19th is Daniel Suarez. And Zane Smith holds down the 20th spot.
Chase Elliott is 21st. Joey Logano in 22nd. Then Corey LaJoie is 23rd. Josh Berry 24th. Ryan Preece 25th with Justin Haley 26th. 27th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. John Hunter Nemechek 28th. 29th is Harrison Burton. Todd Gilliland is in 30th.
Eric Jones is back in 31st. Brad Keselowski is 32nd. 33rd to Ty Dillon. 34th will be Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Busch is 35th. 36th, Austin Hill. Daniel Hemrick is 37th. 38th is Kaz Grala. That full field rundown brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app.
The big movers so far, Justin Haley is up 6th position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is up 4. Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Noah Gragson have each improved 3 spots. The big losers, Brad Keselowski is back 10 spots from where he started. Kaz Grala has lost 5. Eric Jones 4 spots. Austin Hill, Todd Gilliland 2 spots apiece. So there are the movers and there's the losers.
Pat Patterson, I'm intrigued by the fact that Jimmy Johnson is out there starting in a car that they had to patch together. And for a moment there, he was racing side by side with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Kyle Busch has got a handful back there, and Jimmy Johnson did eventually get around him. What's really interesting, guys, from my vantage point right now, and I know Rob sees the same thing, the fast cars, which of course are Kyle Larson and Ty Gibbs, are going to begin to catch lap traffic. That's awful fast during this race, but they're going to start catching some lap cars. And Rob, I am very interested to see what Ty Gibbs does based on Larson's moves to get around these lap cars. The leaders right now are off of turns 3 and 4. We'll see how much that changes things here coming up. Yeah, Pat, I've noticed the same thing on my end. I've also noticed another kind of movement. Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain have over the last couple of laps in turns 1 and 2 tried a lane that's about a lane up from the very bottom of the racetrack. They've not used it to make any passes yet, but I think that second groove is starting to come in on my end. How about down there? Well, it's like Cole Custer was talking about just a moment ago. Once the older chemicals that have been on this racetrack start to heat up and take effect, I think we will see the groove widen out. Right now, the leader's back to the stripe.
Let's go down now to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilley.
Well, Mark, what Pat Patterson was talking about with Kyle Larson getting close to catching lap traffic, they've been talking with him about that. His spotter, Tyler Mott, just radioed down and said, look, people are starting to go up a groove in turns 1 and 2. Among the people who are making passes, that's where they're able to get it done. A lot of people still staying on the bottom in 3 and 4, but as you get ready to start catching lap traffic, if you can time those passes on the south end of the racetrack, turns 1 and 2, that's going to be a better option for them to keep their momentum.
Cole, how conscious are some of these cars that are at the back of the pack that they can, if this stays green, go down a lap here in 4 or 5 laps? I'm talking about Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski's struggling around back there in 32nd. Do they know that, okay, the clock's ticking, you could be a lap down here in a heartbeat?
Oh yeah, they're hearing the worst words you can hear as a race car driver, which is leader at the line now. So whenever you hear that, you know you got to get up on the wheel. So I'm sure that they know that the 5 car's coming fast, and they're doing everything they can to pedal that thing a little faster.
So that's how they let you know where he is. So you know where the finish line is, and you know when you just passed it, right? So when they say finish line now and you're going to 1, you're going like, uh-oh, they're there.
Yeah, the second you hear those words, leader at the line now, you know it's you got to get up on the wheel and get all you can get.
So you want to go a whole race and never hear that?
If you never hear that word a whole race, you're doing pretty decent. So but if you can try and just keep yourself in that top 25, that's usually the place where you can try and stay on the lead lap.
Let's pause 10 seconds now for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Laps down, 20 to go here in stage 1 at Texas Motor Speedway. Top 5 are Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Ryan Blaney.
I'm what you might call very good at hide and seek. And since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my super secret hiding spots. So I can kill time in here by streaming my favorite...
Ha! Found you.
How?
You left to find my tablet on.
Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi on the Xfinity 10G network. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
When I was a kid, my grandpa used to say to my grandma, I love you to the moon and back. It always symbolized his deep love for her. So this Mother's Day, I've created a beautiful to the moon and back sterling silver diamond necklace. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com and see the silhouette of a crescent moon filled with sparkling diamonds, hugging a silver heart engraved with, I love you to the moon and back, right on the other side. See this magnificent Mother's Day gift now at IHateStevenSinger.com. It's only $98. Shipped for free. IHateStevenSinger.com.
32 laps deep into this race, and Kyle Larson has led every one of them, and he is just about now in the process of starting to put cars a lap down. We'll document who he scoots around here in a moment. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Here's Christopher Bell.
My Toyota Camry TRD race car isn't cheap to build and prepare. I have a pit crew that maintains and fixes my equipment. I have a spotter high above the track watching my back, talking me through turns and potential dangers on the track. I physically train to handle the stress of driving. And I have software helping my crew chief and engineers make the right strategy calls. And with all this, I never take my eyes off the road, and neither should you. One distraction can change everything in one instant.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, where green flag pit stops are underway. The very first car on my end of pit road was Ryan Priest. He took 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and those tight conditions that cars were feeling are now turning into a loose condition. Brad Gilley.
Bubba Wallace has been in 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Also Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell. They made a right-side wedge adjustment on McDowell's car. Eric Jones is in right now, and your race leader, Kyle Larson, in. Needs a little bit of help in 3 and 4. Alan Cabana.
Brad Keselowski was in on my section. Then William Byron just came in after making a few passes out there on the track. Looks like Chase Briscoe will be in soon, Wendy Venturini.
Joey Logano says he's been fighting a loose condition when he throttles up. It's 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Also on pit road was Martin Truex Jr., Brad Gilley.
Ryan Blaney now coming into his pit box as Christopher Bell gets service on his Toyota Camry. 4 tires for him. Blaney comes through and someone had spilled fuel on pit road. There's a big fire right behind the pit box of Ryan Blaney. No cars are in this section right now. Blaney getting the left side tires on. That fuel is burning off. Alan Cavana.
Great start for Chase Briscoe, but got a little loose as that run went on. Lost a few positions. He was in for 4 tires of fuel. Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, both in, needing looking to improve on their section of pit road right now. Both with clean stops, Wendy Venturini.
Daniel Suarez is making his way down pit road. He also had a loose condition at the start, a tight condition in the start of the race, and turned to a loose condition just moments ago. It is 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and no chassis adjustments for Daniel Suarez.
So Ty Gibbs has stayed out. He is the new leader of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Kyle Larson has pitted after leading the first 35 laps. Gibbs has led the past 4, and again, it looks like now here is Ty Gibbs, the Interstate Batteries Toyota, slowing down to 45 miles per hour. He's about to make his pit stop. He will relinquish the lead. It looks like Chase Elliott will go to the top of the leaderboard as Ty Gibbs comes in. Let's go to Brad Gilley.
Ty Gibbs has been pretty happy with this car since it's been running neutral as he was following Kyle Larson around the racetrack. He's turning his Toyota now into the service of the pit crew. They're going to go to the right side first. Windshield, change the right side tires. First can of Sunoco is going in. They're going to replug the first can of Sunoco in, get to the top of all. 4-tire change, no adjustments, waiting on fuel for Ty Gibbs. Not sure if they didn't get the can in properly, but they had to wait an extra long time to fuel that car.
All right, a little bit of a long stop there for Ty Gibbs. And Cole Custer, what did you think of that play there? He stayed out 4 laps longer than almost all the other leaders before making this first pit stop.
Well, they were trying to be aggressive on trapping people a lap down. You know, if they could stay out there and they caught a caution, they would have only had back 5 cars on the lead laps. They would have been sitting really pretty. And I think they were able to do that strategy because they had such a lead on third and to stay in the top 5. So he probably only lost a couple spots staying out that long, but there was a good gain that he could have gotten.
Let's go back down to Brad Gilley.
All right, so it looks like the slow pit stop on Ty Gibbs might not have been getting fuel. As soon as his car pulled away, the rear tire changer held the pit gun up in the air in frustration. Looking at the end of the pit gun, there was no socket on it. The socket had actually fallen off. They had a malfunction with that. That was the reason for the slow pit stop of Ty Gibbs.
So at this point, Chase Elliott, Todd Gilliland have not pitted. Also not pitting at this point, Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick in that South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet. So Elliott remains the leader of this race, but after his pit stop, Larson again has a bullet. He's number 3, moving back towards the top.
And if you're Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick, Mark, I like this play here because if you just do what they're going to do, you're going to go a lap down. You stay out here, maybe you get lucky, we catch a caution, you stay on the lead lap. Well, is that what makes that play here, Cole?
For sure. I mean, if you're Austin Hill, Todd Gillen, you're going a lap down anyways. So if you can try and stay out here and try and catch a caution, that's going to keep yourself in the game and try and have a better finish here at the end of the day.
So watching this race unfold, we are now 44 laps completed, and that means we're coming up with 36 laps to go here in stage 1. It's 80 laps long, so we're gotten past the halfway mark. Let's go back down to Alan Cabana.
The number 11 of Denny Hamlin was one of the first cars on pit road, and his only complaint was, hey, I think I'm faster than a lot of these cars, but I don't have the track position right now, and it's really tough to pass out there. The good news for Hamlin, it looks like when this cycle's out, his team has picked him up a couple spots on pit road. We'll see what he can do with this number 11 Toyota out there.
Still have 4 cars in it yet to come to pit road there. Chase Elliott, Todd Gilliland, Austin Hill, and Daniel Hemrick. Not surprisingly, they're all inside the top 5.
A toast to our new college grad who fills us with so much joy, almost as much as when we're in our RV. Oh, the world is your oyster, kiddo, and ours too. Now that we're covered with Progressive, Dad and I can hop in our RV anytime we want. Might even splurge on a retractable awning. Ooh, look out. Sorry, what was I talking about?
Protect your loved one with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Texas Motor Speedway, 47 laps complete. Kyle Larson led 35 of them right now. Not having come on pit road yet, Chase Elliott is your leader. From Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Racing country, music from the fast lane.
Hey, it's Kathy Martin and Paul Shad on Racing Country.
Hi, I'm Christopher Bell, and this is the fastest 2 hours on the radio, Racing Country. I still have a lot to prove to compete at the level that I want to compete at. We have more to accomplish in the sport, and we want to do better than what we've done the last 2 years.
Racing country, music from the fast lane.
The Grassroots is where the hometown heroes of Friday and Saturday nights are, and where the future stars of NASCAR are made.
First career win for James Friesen in the Test Racing Sportsman Series.
PRN's At the Track is a people show about the people of grassroots racing. The stories and journeys from the grassroots are always unique. PRN's At the Track covers the people of America's baddest bull rings. Hear PRN's At the Track each week on broadcast radio stations, the free PRN app, or at GoPRN.com.
First caution of the day here at Texas Motor Speedway involving 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson. Spins all by himself coming off of turn 4 and slides down the front stretch here. And that is the second time this weekend that Jimmy Johnson's been involved in an incident. They had to repair that car to get it ready to race today. And Jimmy brings out the first yellow here on lap 50.
Maybe the happiest man on the planet right now. Chase Elliott got the yellow flag he was looking for, Cole. He's going to have to give up a lot of track position, but he's not going to go a lap down.
No, I mean, that worked as good as they could have ever hoped. Right there, I mean, they were looking in trouble, honestly. If that caution didn't come out, he was probably going to go a lap down. But right there, getting that caution, that worked out as good as he could ever hoped.
Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Alan Cabana.
And Jimmy Johnson just came on the radio and just said, it's the bumps again, coming off the turn. It's something he struggled with throughout the weekend and admitted once again as he's trying to get used to this next-gen car. We've heard him explain, the issues that he's had trying to learn this car and trying to find success with it. Well, the bumps
they got him once again coming off of turn 4.
Johnson never spun all the way around, did a half spin this way, did a half spin that way, wound up with the car in the right direction. He did not hit anything, and thankfully nobody hit Jimmy. So a pretty calm opening yellow flag here at Texas.
Cole Custer, we heard Jimmy say yesterday, he said, for my entire career in stock cars, I drove the car off the right rear. And he goes, this car, this next-gen car is different. You drive it off the right front. What does he mean by all that?
Well, pretty much the basic way of saying that is you can't drive this thing sideways. You have to drive the car straight. If you get it sideways on the right rear tire, you are going for a ride. And I think dirt guys and off-road truck guys like Jimmy, they like to drive it off the right rear. They like to drive it sideways. They like to have that feel. But with these cars, you just can't do that. You got to have it in control the whole time.
If you're a Chris Buescher fan, take a bow. He just got the free pass. Good news for you. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
There was one car that had not pitted yet, our leader, Chase Elliott. Most of the cars came down at lap 38, 39, and Chase Elliott was just hoping for a caution. That's exactly what he got. So he will be pitting this next time around. He said his car felt a little bit better with heat in it. That meant as it went on, it was getting faster for him. He said the balance is not terrible for Chase Elliott, but the back of the car did not have the grip, and the fronts weren't gripping the way he wanted. It was pushing the right front off of it. But they're going to make some slight air pressure adjustments. Alan Gustafson is down here holding that tire as he usually does for these pit stops, and Chase Elliott will take advantage of this caution this time around.
Also having not pitted yet, Todd Gilliland, he was being listed in the second position. Also, Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, their gamble pays off. They were running at the time 5th and 6th and still on the lead lap. Here is Chase Elliott, the Hooters Chevrolet, coming down pit road. Let's go back down to Wendy Venturini.
It's going to be lap 51 for Chase Elliott to take on these 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson always handing over that left side tire to the left rear tire changer. Watching pit stops, it was an awfully fast one. That jack went down in a hurry, and Chase Elliott was down and away. Brad Gilly.
Over here on my end of pit road, Ryan Blaney's going to be coming back in. He says his car is a little bit loose in 1 and 2. Feels a lot better in turns 3 and 4. Michael McDowell also coming in, and they're going to do a 4-tire change for him as well. And it looks like a little further down pit road, Bubba Wallace and crew, he's coming in. He says he's just a little too tight. They went back on the air pressure adjustment that they had done the first pit stop.
Let's go down Cavana.
Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick coming in for their first pit stop. One of the few in my section who came in for 2 tires was Ross Chastain. We'll see how he's doing. I'll go and check with the team what the strategy is there for the 1 car.
All right, thanks a lot to our O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters. We have a plethora of strategies being played out here. Teams making 2 tire stops, folks coming back in for the second time, and then you've got other people, I feel like Cole Custer, that are sticking to what the original plan was, whatever that was.
Well, you have a lot of different strategy here, and I think the name of the game is track positions. So being able to stay out right here, you keep it up front, you'll have a better shot of staying up there. So, but you have Chase Elliott there who stayed on the lead lap. Now he's going to have fresh tires. He might be able to gain some spots here.
So right now we have a number of cars behind the pace car that are probably going to use the wave around, including Alex Bowman back there, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Joey Logano, Noah Gregson in that group as well. Back down to Wendy Venturini.
Martin Truex Jr. will find himself on pit road for a 3rd time. He was pitted at lap 38 for 4 tires, came back down just now for 2 right side tires, went back out there and knew he had a loose wheel. So the lug nut is not tight on that machine. Martin Truex Jr. comes to a stop. The team goes back to work on the right-hand side to switch those 2 tires and tighten up the wheel. They are actually going to just check. It looks like they are going to do a 4-tire change just to go ahead and secure all 4 tires on this car for Martin Truex Jr.
Well, there were some winners on that caution flag, Mark. We talked about Chase Elliott. We were kind of scratching our head on why he stayed out. Todd Gilliland elected to stay out. Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick in the South Point car, they all stayed out, and it played right to them because they got the caution exactly when they needed it.
Sometimes it's good to be good and lucky. I think those guys were good, and they were lucky. Those pit stops, by the way, coming with about 28 laps to go before we get to the end of stage 1. Right now, we're at 27 laps as they continue to work their way under caution. And again, we see 18 cars, 20 cars now using the wave around, and I believe we'll have 32 cars of the 38 on the lead lap when we go back to green here to finish off stage number 1.
We'll document the running order here after they come by start-finish line and line up one more time so we can give you the most accurate reading. Cole, has anything jumped out to you here so far? Is there a particular car that you've watched that you're going like, wow, they're on it right now?
Well, I think when you look at the 5-car Kyle Larson and you look at Ty Gibbs, they look like they have some rockets today. They're going to be up there all day fighting for this thing. But you do have Ty Gibbs. He's coming down right here. He might have a problem. We'll see what he has going on there.
That is definitely unscheduled because we're about to restart this stage, and Gibbs had some great track position. He will give it up. He was going to be second or third. Let's go down now to Brad Gilley.
Hey, remember that Ty Gibbs pit stop I called where the socket broke off of the pit gun? Well, what I didn't realize was that the socket stuck to the car. It was actually stuck to his right rear. They raced with it out there. NASCAR actually called the team back in. That's why he's coming in that late in this pit cycle. They actually had to pull the socket from the pit gun, which was connected to the lug nut on the left rear.
I'm assuming that would be equipment leaving the box, wouldn't it, Cole?
I've never heard of that one before. So that's a new one for me. But, man, that's unfortunate. That'll really hurt their day. They're going to have to fight hard now.
Let's give you a quick rundown here of how they're doing at Texas Motor Speedway.
Kyle Larson, your leader. Christopher Bell, second. Tyler Reddick, third. The rest of our top 10. William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Todd Gilliland, and Ross Chastain. That is our top 10.
Rest of the top 20 will be Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace in 13th. 14th will be Daniel Hemrick. Michael McDowell is 15th. Austin Hill 16th. 17th to Martin Truex Jr. 18th is going to be Chris Buescher. Alex Bowman 19th. And 20th will be Carson Hocevar. They're getting ready to drop the green.
They move through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. Larson and Bell side by side take that thundering pack to turn number 1.
Until making a pit stop, it was all Kyle Larson leading this race from the green flag. He'll reappropriate that top spot off turn number 2. Trailing in is the car of Christopher Bell and then Tyler Reddick.
Kyle Larson leads his buddy C. Bell down the backstretch into turn 3. Larson goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Heavy traffic behind them trying to sort out the bottom. C. Bell in the second spot.
Kyle Larson once again in the familiar point position here at Texas Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick. The battle is going to be for 4th. That's William Byron and Denny Hamlin.
They run side by side for 2/3 of a lap as they enter turn 1. Hamlin will clear the car of Byron. Now Byron is under assault. That's Chase Briscoe to his inside.
And Briscoe will go door to door with Byron down the backstretch. Denny Hamlin takes a peek underneath Tyler Reddick, looking for the 3rd spot. Can't do anything with him. And Byron will stay side by side with Briscoe.
In the 4th spot, Denny Hamlin now going after his employee, Tyler Reddick, 2311 Racing, as they work their way down to turn 1.
Denny Hamlin looking very good at the outset of this race. He used the middle lane. He was doing that for much of the first part of that first run this afternoon. He's making it work, Pat.
Behind Hamlin is Briscoe. Then comes William Byron. Right behind him, you find Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney. That's the way they race into turn 3. Everybody at the bottom of the racetrack.
Field looks a little bit racier here the second time that they've gone back to green following that Jimmy Johnson caution flag. Watching Ross Chastain back there. He's battling with Todd Gilliland. Right behind Todd is his teammate Michael McDowell.
It does look racier, Doug, and I think it's a good sign that we've got a second groove of racing really forming up. It'll only get better, I hope, as the afternoon progresses. Leaders head to 3.
Here comes Kyle Larson entering turn 3 right now. The battle for 3rd rages as we watch Hamlin go to the bottom of the racetrack trying to make a move on his employee, so to speak.
Hamlin looks to the inside. Reddick slams the door. They go nose to tail across the stripe. We've got 21 laps to go here in stage 1.
Great purple is the number 11 car of Denny Hamlin. He'll go to the inside of Tyler Reddick. Let's see if Reddick fights him. He will not give that 3rd position to Denny Hamlin.
Right behind him, watching Michael McDowell make a move. He gets that position around the Gilliland car. Now he'll set his sights on the number 1 of Ross Chastain. Again, racing down at the bottom of the racetrack as Gilliland steps out to the top side of the racetrack.
Todd Gilliland slid up the racetrack. Michael McDowell got around him. McDowell now in hot pursuit of Ross Chastain. That is going to be a battle for the 8th spot as they roll back to 1.
Let's see if Chastain's choice to take only 2 tires on this most recent round of pit stops plays to his advantage. He's lost some ground to Ryan Blaney, the car directly in front of him, and he's dead in the gun sights of Michael McDowell.
Another guy that's cranking it back up again is Bubba Wallace. He runs right behind McDowell as they get into turn 3. Wallace looking to the outside here, but Gilliland's right on his bumper.
So,
Go ahead, Mark. Carson Hocevar took a wild ride there.
He sure did. Got awful close to the wall in turn number 2. Again, at this point, 19 laps to go in stage number 1. Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilly.
Mark, Ty Gibbs obviously lost a lot of track position when they had the socket for the lug wrench get stuck in the lug nut. They're currently running in the 27th spot. They've made up a lot of ground since the restart. They're going to try and make up more at the end of this stage. Ty was just told, take it easy on your car, take it easy on your tires. We're going to make up about half of those spots at the end of the stage break. Don't be surprised if you see a 2-tire call coming up.
18 laps to go here in stage 1. The leader by a second is Kyle Larson.
This season, Toyota Racing is looking for jugglers. Not the ones who toss balls or rings. Fans that can juggle the rigors of a 10-month-long season across many different racing circuits.
Well, what if I added knives?
What if you added GR Cup, Formula Drift, and off-road racing? If you can juggle it all, then we want you. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. Formula Drift is a registered trademark of Formula Drifts Holdings, LLC.
Get ready to roar and experience the thrill of NASCAR at Dover Motor Speedway, April 26 to 28. The engines roar and the crowd roars at an adrenaline-fueled weekend of NASCAR action. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action-packed atmosphere. NASCAR's best drivers, NASCAR's best fan zone, and the best tailgating around. Get your tickets now and be there at Dover Motor Speedway, April 26 to 28. Visit DoverMotorspeedway.com.
16 laps to go here in stage 1. Stage 1 brought to you by eBay Motors. Bring home the cup with eBay Guaranteed Fit. Fit brakes, headlights, and all the parts to fit your vehicle the first time, every time. ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Our top 5 read like this. It's Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, and Chase Briscoe. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Hi, this is Doug Rice. Join me for the latest edition of Fast Talk.
I wondered, okay, was that real or was that something that just happened in a test session? Well, they proved it was real yesterday.
Let me tell you something. Testing and seat of pants and being in a car on a racetrack still pays off dividends when you go back to a racetrack.
We have to make sure that we're racing in a market that's going to, percentage-wise, probably give us a good weather weekend.
It's Fast Talk right here on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Don't miss NASCAR's biggest stars when they light up historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's the NASCAR All-Star Race, May 17th through the 19th. Champions like Larson, Elliott, Busch, and Blaney battle it out for All-Star glory at the track where names like Penny, Earnhardt, Waltrip, and Allison became legendary. Experience live music, racing history, and the kind of fun you can only have at North Wilkesboro. The NASCAR All-Star Race. Get your tickets today at NorthWilkesboroSpeedway.com.
Welcome back here to Texas Motor Speedway. Time now for our Liberty University leaderboard.
So our leader is Kyle Larson. He's led 50 laps, and with those 50, he is the first driver to go over 500 laps led here in 2024. Christopher Bell is second. Third, Denny Hamlin. Fourth, Tyler Reddick. Fifth is Chase Briscoe. Sixth is William Byron. Chase Elliott, seventh. Ryan Blaney is in the 8th spot. Michael McDowell, 9th. 10th is Ross Chastain.
Riding 11th is Bubba Wallace. Todd Gilliland, 12th. 13th, Martin Truex Jr. Austin Cindric is 14th. Daniel Hemrick is up to 15th. Austin Hill, 16th. 17th is Chris Buescher. Alex Bowman, 18th. 19th, Joey Logano. Noah Gragson, 20th.
Well, taking it easy, Ty Gibbs has worked his way back to 21st. John Hunter Nemechek, 22nd. 23rd, Ryan Preece. Zane Smith, 24th. 25th is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Josh Berry, 26th. Austin Dillon, 27th. And it's Eric Jones, 28th. 29th, Carson Hocevar. Brad Keselowski in 30th.
31st is Corey LaJoie. Daniel Suarez, 32nd. 33rd is going to be Kyle Busch. First car, 1 lap down. Harrison Burton is 34th. 35th will be Justin Haley. 36th, Jimmy Johnson. Ty Dillon is 37th. 2 laps down, and in 38th is Kaz Gralla. That leaderboard brought to you by Liberty University, where you can win one of several scholarships in the LU $74,000 scholarship giveaway. Go to liberty.edu/24 for details. And that's your full field rundown here at Texas Motor Speedway as we're winding down the laps here in stage one. Just 9 to go. We've watched Kyle Larson be very dominant here today, but Pat Patterson, I can't take my eyes off Denny Hamlin. He's in third, but he's closed the gap to second place Seabell.
Yeah, he is starting to close that gap, and I think he's got enough time to at least challenge Seabell. Another one that I've been watching, Doug, it's been a lot of fun, was watching Ryan Blaney alongside Chase Elliott and William Byron, Michael McDowell. That's been a good little race going on with those guys.
So William Byron now has a 2-car length advantage over Michael McDowell, and right there also in his tire tracks in turn 1, Ross Chastain.
Along with Bubba Wallace, those 4 cars right together off turn 2. Still a few laps to get themselves perhaps a stage point.
Yeah, we'll see what can happen here as Michael McDowell will take a bead on William Byron. He'll take that yellow love machine to the bottom of the racetrack, and he's going to make that pass on last week's winner.
It's a position 8 for Michael McDowell, getting underneath William Byron and Cole Custer. A lot of people haven't passed William Byron this year.
That's impressive. That's a little bit of a smaller team with Front Row Motorsports in the 34 car. They're hitting above their weight today. They're run top 10, going to get to some good stage points here. But we see that all the time from Michael McDowell in that 34 team. They really make the most of it.
Also watching now, Ryan Blaney creeping up on Chase Elliott. Blaney is currently running in that 7th position as he works his way out of turn 4. The gap now has been cut to 2 car lengths, and we've got 6 laps to go here in stage number 1.
As we see them fighting for 6th, Pat, I noticed that both Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin are beginning to close somewhat on Kyle Larson.
Yeah, watching them right now off of turn number 4. Now Larson's got a good 10-car lead over Seabell, another 10 back to Denny Hamlin. Then you find Tyler Reddick. The closest battle for position right now is the one I'm watching, and that's the number 9 car of Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney.
That's the battle for 6th right now as they flash by us across the start-finish line. I'm only going to call it a single car lick from Chase Elliott back to Blaney.
Blaney will go to the bottom of the racetrack this time. Gets those left side tires down to the white line. Drifting up just a bit is Chase Elliott, but Blaney cannot get a strong momentum off turn 2.
These two guys are really good friends, but they race each other really hard, and they do it again down here in turn 3. It'll be Chase Elliott at the bottom of the racetrack. Blaney looking to the outside, trying to find some grip.
Now just 4 laps to go in stage number 1. Here's Elliott Blaney across the stripe, heading back to 1.
We'll continue to follow this pair. They're just about half a dozen car lengths back of the 5th place car. That's Chase Briscoe. They may catch him, but I think right now they're just worried about one another. 6th position is up for grabs, Elliott and Blaney.
Now, I'd say these top 5 cars, well, top 4 anyway, are pretty safe here on the finish of this stage, but certainly you get past Tyler Reddick and you look at Chase Briscoe, and he's going to get a mirror full of Chase Elliott here pretty quick.
3 laps to go. The battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th right now. Briscoe in 4th. 5th belongs to Chase Elliott. And in 6th, about 2 car lengths back, it's Blaney.
And Chase Briscoe goes all the way to the bottom. Up a lane is Chase Elliott. That opens the inside momentarily for Blaney. He can't get close enough, however, to get into that left rear quarter panel.
Chevy versus Ford. Here we go. Down the backstretch here. They'll see who's going to get the bottom of the racetrack faster. And it's again Chase Elliott. And Blaney kind of hangs it out to the outside all 4.
With Blaney pushing Elliott, he's creeping up on Chase Briscoe. They flash across the stripe. Just 2 laps left now in stage number 1.
Chase Briscoe probably hoping that fight behind him will continue, but Elliott now stretched it out by a couple of car lengths over Blaney. This time in 2, Blaney moves up, and it gets him some distance on the racetrack.
Blaney pulls right up on his bumper, though. Takes a look to the inside. Here comes Ryan Blaney trying to make a move for position. He'll easily give that away from Chase Elliott. Now he's at the bottom of the racetrack as the leader's back to the stripe.
So Ryan Blaney takes over the 6th spot.
Final lap in the stage. Kyle Larson has this in the bag. But Carson will win stage 1.
And the shoulder like a passing lane? Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates are effective Illinois.
Is your insurance playbook too confusing? Make it easy. Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We saw a lot of chaos in the closing laps of the race. So just trying to minimize that, make it more about a race than when people just using each other up.
I think it's needed. It was needed on all the road courses. While I don't think it's going to be a home run, I think that it'll be in the right direction. So many opportunities to either be really good or make mistakes, and they can start adding up on you quick.
For the latest NASCAR news without a restrictor plate, it's PRN's Garage Pass. For the station near you, check us out at GoPRN.com.
Hi, this is PRN's David Stiles. Join me each week when I head over to JC's Garage to talk NASCAR.
As of right now, if I were to name my top 5, I could tell you Chase Elliott wouldn't be in that top 5 with this next gen car. He has a lot to prove on the road courses with this next gen car, but I still don't think there's a real out front leader. I think Tyler Reddick has been outstanding.
That's JC's Garage, wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, second yellow flag of the day. This one for the conclusion of stage 1. Let's check in with Brad Gillen.
Well, Doug, Booty Barker has taken 2 opportunities to pit Bubba Wallace today. They've been fighting just a little bit with the handling of their race car. I thought it interesting with about 15 laps to go in stage 1. Bubba got on the radio and asked Booty, hey, is there any way to free me up without getting me loose? And that is the challenge for Booty Barker during this round of pit stops.
Cole Custer joins us in the booth today. Free me up without getting loose. What does that entail here, Cole?
That's probably the crew chief's worst words they can hear. So now you're just trying to wave your magic wand and hope you find something. But that's what we fight here. You know, you get your entry and exit so loose, and then you can't turn the center. So you're just trying to find that magic setup that can try and connect the whole corner how you want.
Cole, we were talking during the break that track position is so important here. You were watching what Kyle Busch did, even though he was down a lap.
Yeah, I mean, technically he's running 33rd, but he was able to restart in the top 15 there, and he stayed there the whole time. So you can take a 33rd place car and run in the top 15. That means how close this field really is, and if you can get that track position on a pit stop, you're going to run there.
And I guess that could really play out big at the end of this race. I would think you're not going to give up track position.
For sure. I mean, you're looking at your picture right now, and you're saying, I need you guys to have your best day of the season right now, because if you can get me a few spots, we're going to stay there all race. And for the crew chiefs also, if you can work some strategy, you can really start getting.
Briscoe, top 5 in that stage, but says he's still just a bit too tight. William Byron, meanwhile, faded at the end of that stage. He says he's way too tight. They need an adjustment when you enter in.
Chase Elliott is happy where his car is, but needs a tad more security. When it built up air pressure, got on edge. They went down on the air pressure with the right rear 4 tires. Pulling out a pit stop, Tyler Reddick. His back of the car has been dancing. They did 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment. Brad Kelly.
Kyle Larson had a lightning fast pit stop, but wasn't the fastest. He says his car is just a little bit tight in 3 and 4. Gets a little bit slick up high. Christopher Bell. He also came in 4 tires in Sunoco. No adjustments to the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Martin Truex Jr. picked up 10 spots there. He will come out first, and then it's going to be Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, the top 3, as they exit pit road here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Check engine light on. Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether your engine runs daily or only when you need it, C-Max Micro Lubricant is the force you need against carbon buildup that can damage your engine. Combustion causes carbon and other harmful deposits to build up on your engine, fuel system, and transmission. And carbon is like sandpaper rubbing against your engine's internal parts. You don't want that. You want C-Max Micro Lubricant. It soaks into metal and keeps your vehicle running at peak performance. Find out more at cmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Protect your engine to the max with C-Max.
Field under the second caution today for the conclusion of stage 1. We'll come back in just a moment. We will give you the full field rundown. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Truex on the inside, Byron in the middle, Chastain up high.
Hamlin now beginning to come to the front. He's got the edge now. He'll take the lead away.
Ryan Blaney sliding down into the crash. There was a lot of bumping and Blaney noses into the infield retaining wall.
Ross Chastain doing a great job. Truex right there, beating his mirror as they race down the backstretch here.
Harrison Burton is spinning down the back straightaway. Everybody going to the top side.
Here comes Kyle Larson. Larson dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead all 4.
Chris Buescher has trouble.
And a spin off of turn 4. Yeah, we've got a ton of cars that are in this one, and Larson is certainly one of those cars.
Trouble coming out of turn 4. Hamlin is sideways. The car spins down on the apron of the racetrack.
Byron takes that brightly painted number 24 to the front. He gets a big shove from Daniel Suarez.
This is PRN.
Still under the yellow here at the conclusion of stage 1. Let's give you the eBay leaderboard.
Ryan Blaney currently listed in the number 1 spot. Austin Hill in second. Third is Chris Buescher. Fourth is Ty Gibbs. Fifth, Ryan Truex. Here we go. Martin Truex Jr. Sixth, Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott. Yeah, he was in the race yesterday, so I guess I sort of kept it in Texas. Kyle Larson is 6th. 7th, Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell 8th. 9th, Denny Hamlin. Austin Cindric in 10th.
11th will be Michael McDowell. Tyler Reddick is 12th. 13th, William Byron. Bubba Wallace 14th. 15th, Ross Chastain. 16th is Chase Briscoe. Logano is 17th. Daniel Hemrick 18th. Alex Bowman 19th. And 20th to Noah Gregson.
Josh Berry now listed in 21st. 22nd, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ryan Preece 23rd. Then John Hunter Nemechek 24th. 25th, Daniel Suarez. Carson Hocevar 26th. 27th, Austin Dillon. Brad Keselowski 28th. 29th, Corey LaJoie. Eric Jones in 30th.
31st is Zane Smith. 32nd will be Todd Gilliland. Kyle Busch back on the lead lap in 33rd. Harrison Burton is 34th, 1 lap down. -1 is Ty Dillon, 35th. Justin Haley is 36. 37th is Jimmy Johnson. He's -1. -2 is Kaz Gralla. Bring home the cup with eBay Guaranteed Fit brakes and headlights. All the parts to fit your vehicle the first time, every time. eBay Motors, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. I want to give a quick shout out here to one of our longtime affiliates, WDUN in Gainesville, Georgia. They're a flamethrower at 100,000 watts at 102.9. So if you're down near Atlanta, tune those folks in. They are awesome. And Mark, they are celebrating 35 years on the air today. A long-running NASCAR radio affiliate and a big part of PRN.
They were there when we weren't the cool kids on the block, and they're still with us. So we thank them at WDUN. If you just joined us, 5 leaders, 6 lead changes. We've had 2 cautions. One for the end of stage 1, the other for a lazy half spin by Jimmy Johnson coming out of turn number 4. Our lap leaders, Kyle Larson has led 66. He's led the event 3 times. Chase Elliott 12. Then you have Ty Gibbs with 5 laps led, Ryan Blaney with 4, and Christopher Bell with 1. Those caution flags have only been for 2 times, again for just 11 of the 87 laps we've run so far.
Field is queued up behind the pace car. They're about ready to enter. Let's all say it together. The Geico Restart Zone. Doug Rice, Mark Garrow with you in the booth. Joined today by Cole Custer. Thrilled to have him out in the turns. Of course, Rob Albright and Pat Patterson. Pit road, Alan Cabana, Wendy Venturini, and Brad Gilly. Pace car on the pit road here. We're ready to crank them up again at Texas Motor Speedway. Green flag is in the air. Side by side on the front row, it's Ryan Blaney and Austin Hill.
Should be interesting. Fastest guy in the field all afternoon. Restart 6. That's Larson. The race is for the lead into turn 1, but it won't last long. Blaney will capture that spot. Hill runs now in the second position.
Blaney out front, Hill in second. Side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot now. As you watch Chris Buescher go to work with Ty Gibbs. Gibbs to the top side of the racetrack now as they rocket off turn 4.
Now here's Chase Elliott on the top side of the racetrack. He works his way around Martin Truex Jr., or does he? Truex now pulls up to the driver's door of Elliott in turn 1.
Well, it's side by side into the corner, but very quickly, Truex dispatches with him just as I say that. Battling back on the high side is Elliott. He'll now go after Larson. Elliott gets right to his teammate's back bumper.
Elliott's boxed in behind the 5 car. Truex gives him a little running room. Now he'll try to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Truex had to check up just a little bit, and now he's going to be challenged on the outside by Denny Hamlin.
Tell you, the driver that's mixing it up is Denny Hamlin. He dove low almost to the apron in turn 1. This time he's working to the high side, trying to get around Truex. That's a battle for 7.
Denny Hamlin has a very, very good race car. So does his teammate, Christopher Bell. He runs right with those 2 teammates, Truex and Hamlin, down the back straightaway out of turn 2.
Austin Hill holds that 2nd spot. Out in front, though, by a good 20 car lengths now is Ryan Blaney. Door-to-door battle. It's the 5 car of Kyle Larson taking a spot away from Ty Gibbs.
Move Larson up to the 3rd spot as he bypasses Ty Gibbs. Now closing in on him, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, and Denny Hamlin.
Kyle Larson took just 2 laps of maybe just a little bit of patience to see what unfolded in front of him. Now he's gone from 6th to 3rd. He's about 4 car lengths back of Austin Hill, who rides in that 2nd position.
Watching Christopher Bell, he's lost another spot out there. He'll try to challenge William Byron and try to hold on to this top group, but he's to the top side of the racetrack looking for some grip on 4.
Champ Ryan Blaney right now driving away from the pack, a 22 car length lead over Austin Hill, but the guy in a hurry is 3rd place Kyle Larson.
How often do we say it? Clean air is king, and Ryan Blaney is proving it at the moment, but the king may become a prince once Larson gets there. Larson goes to the outside of Austin Hill, and he'll make quick work of him down the backstretch.
He'll get that spot, but Hill will keep him honest down into turn 3, locked onto his bumper, about 4 car lengths back to Ty Gibbs. There's Chris Buescher, and a battle. Denny Hamlin still working on Chase Elliott.
Ross Chastain just went around Christopher Bell for 10th. Bell now is under pressure from Tyler Reddick. Also, Reddick now makes the pass. McDowell will now line up Bell in turn 1.
And right ahead of them, Reddick will go to the low side of the racetrack to try to take the spot away from Ross Chastain. They'll race door-to-door off turn 2. Slight advantage to Reddick.
Reddick in that black and green car on the inside. It's that blue car for the number 1 of Ross Chastain. As once again, Reddick, bottom of the racetrack. He wants that spot. He'll take that spot.
Tyler Reddick on the move, gets around Ross Chastain. Battle back here for 4th right now. Ty Gibbs is in a ferocious fight with Chris Buescher and Denny Hamlin.
Chris Buescher now will move to the top of the racetrack as Denny Hamlin flashes easily by on the inside. Now trying to get a 2-fer. Hamlin will easily bypass Gibbs. He'll now sit on the back bumper of Austin Hill.
now. Here comes Denny Hamlin. He wants that third spot. He's big in the mirror of Austin Hill. Bottom of the racetrack as they paint the line. In fact, the top 7 or 8 cars behind him at the very bottom of the racetrack.
Chase Elliott got by Chris Buescher as well, so it's Blaney, Larson, Hill, Gibbs, Buescher, Hamlin, and now move Hamlin up to 4th, drop Gibbs to 5th.
Well, I got to keep an eye on Denny Hamlin. Chris Gabehart, as the crew chief, has given him a wonderful piece this afternoon. Hamlin can go literally anywhere he wants to, high or low in turn number 1. Same thing down there.
Gibbs' car's always good at this racetrack right now, sitting in that 3rd spot. He's distancing himself now from Austin Hill, who still holds on to the top 5. Chase Elliott trying to challenge once again on Ty Gibbs.
You've heard us talk about Austin Hill, one of his infrequent Cup starts. He's racing today for RCR in the number 33 car. Keith Rodden serving as his crew chief, and they've gotten some track position and given it a pretty good ride.
And would you have guessed Austin Hill outperforming Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch in this race for RCR? But that's exactly what's happening right now. They used some pit strategy in stage 1 to get him up there, and Austin Hill's done a pretty good job. But now he goes way up the racetrack. One car after another flies by. Elliott, Byron, Truex, Buescher, Reddick, Christopher Bell now flashing to the inside of Austin Hill.
Ross Chastain almost ran out of racing room. He was trying to make the pass on Christopher Bell, but he found himself right behind the Austin Hill machine. Now, Michael McDowell closes on Chastain's back bumper.
And he goes side by side with the driver of the number 1 cars. They go down to the bottom of the racetrack here in 3 and 4. McDowell in that bright yellow car battles side by side with Chastain. Chastain not letting him go.
Cole Custer, we watched Austin Hill. We were bragging on him. He was running for 3rd, and he's probably dropped 20 spots in the last 2 laps. What do you think's going on there?
He might have a problem, or his car is just absolutely dropped anchor. I mean, he was holding his own really good in the top 5 there, and it just fell off a cliff within about 5 laps.
Looks like he gets very tight in turn number 2, almost has to stop the car to get it around that corner.
I think he's coming to pit road here, guys. It looks like he's got a problem. Yeah, he's going to the apron right now. He's got a problem.
Challenge for the lead. It is Ryan Blaney right now, but in hot pursuit. Here comes Kyle Larson into 1.
You look away for 2 laps, and all of a sudden, Larson has closed up a 25-car length disadvantage to put himself right on the back bumper of the race leader, Ryan Blaney, off turn 2.
And here they come down the backstretch. What will Larson do? He'll try to show the nose at the bottom of the racetrack. He'll go side by side with Blaney. He wants the lead at Texas. They stay nose to nose here off of turn number 4. Now Larson makes the move.
Blaney trying to hold him off on the outside at the stripe.
Trouble. Now 1 car in the wall. It's Christopher Bell. Hits it hard. Everybody else scrambles to avoid. Now another collision in the middle. It looked like that Alex Bowman got slapped. Couldn't see which other car it was. It was a 42 of John Hunter Nemechek. Trouble at Texas. Caution is out.
You're exactly right, Pat Patterson. 3 cars involved there. Christopher Bell, then Alex Bowman with collateral damage when John Hunter Nemechek come along and spiked his machine. Let's go down to Brad Gilly.
All right, they're going to bring Christopher Bell straight into pit road, even though it's closed right now. What was said on the radio after that incident, all the tires look good, but the left rear is caved in quite a bit. They have not been able to assess the damage yet in the pit box to Christopher Bell, but he'll be coming straight in.
And it looks like Alex Bowman is in his pit stall. They're working feverishly on the right.
Okay, what happened? Oh my goodness. What happened here? Oh my, ooh. What the heck?
that machine. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Yeah, the 48 of Alex Bowman was all yawed out as it was coming to pit road. The diffuser is up. They're pulling the front fender off, the whole entire nose with a Sawzall right now. Two NASCAR officials on the right side of the car. They are on the DVP clock. They just reported they're trying to keep the hood intact. So that means they're going to try and get back out there. So, Gilly, what's happening on your end with Christopher Bell?
Wow, when you talk about the left rear being caved in, it's caved in a big way. The left rear quarter panel is sticking straight out from the race car, meaning that someone hit him from behind. It crushed in the rear bumper. When it did that, it literally took the quarter panel and made it stick straight out. They have a Sawzall. They also have a circular saw out here. They're just simply going to have to cut away the body panels.
What the?
Junior. 21st, Austin Cindric. Brad Keselowski, 22nd. 23rd, Daniel Hemrick. 24th is Josh Berry. 25th is Eric Jones. Carson Hocevar, 26th. Daniel Suarez will be 27th. 28th to Kyle Busch. 29th is Justin Haley. Harrison Burton rides 30th.
31st, Chris Buescher. John Hunter Nemechek scored 32nd. Then Christopher Bell is 33rd, scored -1 in 34th. Jimmy Johnson, Ty Dillon also -1 in 35th. Kaz Gralla -2 in 36th. Alex Bowman is out, credit for 37th. Austin Hill is off the racetrack. He'll get credit for 38th.
And that full field rundown brought to you by NFT.com. Are you a true racing fan? Do you like adding die-cast cars? Then when the race is over, race to race day, NFT.com. And sign up for some incredible deals. Field out of the Geico restart zone, ready to go racing again. Green flag is in the air. Down on the inside, getting a nice jump and a push from Martin Truex Jr. is Todd Gilliland.
So far, so good for Gilliland, but I gotta believe it won't last long. In fact, it does not. Exiting turn number 2, all the way to the front is Larson. Back in the pack, Bubba Wallace way up high. He'll lose about 15 spots off turn 2.
Here comes Kyle Larson down the backstretch and into turn number 4. The man on the move is Martin Truex Jr. He's going to pick up that third spot. Gilliland fades back. Truex isn't done yet, though. He goes to work on his teammate Denny Hamlin for second.
Larson leads this race for the 5th time. The battle, though, is hot and furious for the 2nd spot, with Truex side by side with teammate Denny Hamlin.
Martin Truex Jr. has not been all that great this afternoon. He's been good, but now it looks like he's got something for his teammate Denny Hamlin, maybe for Larson, as he'll take the 2nd position.
MTJ to the 2nd spot. Hamlin now, though, fights back, looks to the outside as they enter turn 3. It'll be Truex down at the bottom of the racetrack, then Hamlin. Then it's about 8 cars back to Todd Gilliland.
That's a good battle back there. Todd Gilliland 4th, and then diving to the inside of Chastain behind him is going to be Tyler Reddick. Then it's Chastain, Blaney, and Michael McDowell all knotted together.
Chastain to the low side. McDowell will try to make the pass of him on the outside in turn number 2. He won't get there. He'll settle up behind. But for McDowell, he now has to feel some pressure from Ryan Blaney.
Here comes Blaney as he goes to work on McDowell, entering turn 3. Blaney on the bottom of the racetrack. McDowell about the midway point of the racetrack. He'll lose that spot. He's got to be careful. William Byron right behind him.
Blaney now 7th, McDowell 8th, but maybe for just a short period. Lined up behind him, William Byron is there. So is Chase Elliott.
Single file about 12 cars deep. Already the leader, Kyle Larson, has extended his advantage over Truex to about 10 car lengths. 5 more back to Hamlin.
Yeah, the most competitive bunch here in the very top 10. Once again, watching Michael McDowell, William Byron, and a pass going on right now. It's Joey Logano getting upstaged a little bit by Chase Briscoe as he'll try to take that position, but Logano tries to battle back.
Chase Briscoe and Logano in a nice battle here along the front stretch. A couple of Fords battling it out right now, and Priest is trying to get into that action too.
Joey Logano needs a good finish. It's been a horrible start to 2024. He's not yet seen the top 10. He'll make the pass of Chase Briscoe. Maybe a little bit of brightness there for Joey Logano.
Logano gets that spot, and then Bryce White, number 22. Briscoe goes right in behind him. Bottom of the racetrack, that's where they will run. As once again, Chase Elliott trying to case his teammate William Byron on for turn 4.
They're creeping away from that 22 car of Joey Logano, who's been running better as of late. And Doug, you and I were kind of I won't say ragging on Logano for his rough start, but he had a terrible start to the season. But he was 11th at COTA, been top 10 the last two races, had the runner-up at Richmond. So it looks like they've got the ship turned around just a bit.
Well, what is it we always say, Mark? If you're trying to get out of the hole, the first thing you got to do is put down the shovel and quit digging. And they are digging on the racetrack right now. Joey Logano riding in the 11th. Kyle Larson is the leader of 2.5 over Martin Truex Jr. We need to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Doug Rice with Mark Garrow. Cole Custer, our guest analyst in the booth today. In the turns, it is Rob Albright and Pat Patterson. And on pit road, Alan Cavana, Wendy Venturini, and Brad Gilley. If you just joined us, we've had 3 yellow flags today.
Trouble in turn number 2. Carson Hocevar will bring out the caution. Right behind him, Kyle Busch, as Hocevar slid up to the top of the banking, was hard on his brakes. Fortunately, no contact. It was just sideways all the way for Hocevar, but it does necessitate a yellow flag.
And that is the 4th caution period here in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
At Hunt Brothers Pizza, you can choose from 10 toppings at no extra charge. In a hurry, call ahead to place an order or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Find the nearest location at huntbrotherspizza.com and follow me, Joey Logano, all season long.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcast anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We're under our 4th yellow flag of the day. Pit road is going to be open, and let's see how many takers we have here at Texas Motor Speedway. A large contingent is going to bypass the entrance of pit road. Right now, the top 10 have creeped by, and it looks like the top 20 will also bypass. So that means we can tell you that the Xfinity fastest lap of the day, big shock here, goes to Kyle Larson, 185.746 miles per hour. That happened on lap number 2. Xfinity keeps NASCAR fans in the zone with ultra-low lag and a connection you can rely on. Stream NASCAR from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once. Learn more at Xfinity.com. And Mark Garrow, we only had a couple of takers here on pit road.
Doug, all the top cars bypassed the pit lane, but from 22nd on down, a bunch of them pitted. Daniel Hemrick is in that group. Harrison Burton, John Hunter Nemechek was involved in our last yellow flag, as well as Christopher Bell. Austin Dillon pitted under this yellow flag as well. Basically, really nothing to lose at this point. Maybe get fuel and tires to kind of go a little bit deeper in this stage than the rest of these guys up front. But the leaders, it was kind of interesting. Kyle Larson never even tried to fake coming to pit road. Ryan Blaney running 5th. He puts on the big fake and then comes back out. All right, we'll come back here in just a moment. We'll reset the field for the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Buddy Baker is back in victory circle after just 5 tries in 1971.
Your family and Buddy Baker have a history.
A long history of Buck and my granddad racing against Buddy's dad. Buddy came to drive for my dad in 71, 72, right along there. Drove that white Dodge number 11. They always called him the Gentle Giant. And Buddy would come over to the house. Sometimes he would bring his son Brian, who was about my age, and we'd go motorcycle riding. And Buddy Baker was a great motorcycle rider. We'd go out through the woods, and man, he would do some stuff, and my dad would just putt along on that little motorcycle he had. Buddy'd have his on the back wheel and in the gas and running hard. Brian and my dad would ride together, and I would ride with Buddy because they would putt along, and I would ride with Buddy. But Buddy was just that guy who always was just so kind to me. Even when I started racing, and we'd go to Daytona or you'd go to Talladega, where he had lots of success, you could sit and talk to him, and he would tell you things, and you could pick his brain, and he tried to help you.
A major development here under yellow. The leader, Kyle Larson, has lost the right rear tire. It just came off when rolling up the racetrack and now has rolled down to the apron. Let's go to Brad Gilley.
Yeah, Kyle Larson just got on the radio and said, I just lost a wheel. And the bad part about this, he lost it literally on the front straightaway. He's got to go all the way around the racetrack to come back to pit road. What makes this even worse, 3 weeks in a row, they've won the pole starting spot. And today, boy, if he's going to come back, it's going to be one heck of a challenge because they lost a wheel on the racetrack. He's going to be held at least 2 laps as well, including fixing whatever damage he might have. So as soon as they come down to pit road, we'll get an assessment on that and report back to you.
Not to mention, NASCAR is going to give a vacation to a tire changer and a jack man as well.
What a monstrous turnaround here, because that car looked unbeatable. He was the one person, Cole, that could come up through traffic and pass almost at will, and now he's probably going to wind up at least 3 laps down.
Yeah, we're going to see if he can make a show out of it here, right? So he's going to have to come from the back. I've never seen anything like that, though. He ran 15 laps on that wheel, and it just came off. So that's pretty surprising that would happen after that many laps.
You have to say one thing. Thankfully, that isn't under full-bore green, and you're pumping 195 to 200 miles an hour going down to turn 1.
For sure. I mean, they definitely saved a race car right there. So we're going to see. It could have damaged the diffuser right there, dragging it on the racetrack, but we'll see if he can come through the field here.
So that did happen under the caution because, remember, Mark Arrow just told you that Kyle had bypassed the entrance to pit road, so they get lucky there that this takes place under caution. But as we're watching right now, they are holding Kyle Larson, and this has just got to be so painful, Cole, to know that you've got that good a car, but you're stuck on pit road with a NASCAR official standing in front of you.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, they might be holding 2 laps here, so it looks like that might be the penalty for losing a wheel, but that's a huge loss their day. They're going to have to fight hard to make that up.
Well, we're getting set to go back to green here in stage number 2. There'll be 47 laps to go in this stage. Denny Hamlin inside, Martin Truex Jr. outside. They go through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. NASCAR starter Shannon Bednarik waves it, and they're back to turn 1.
Got to be a couple of happy JGR Toyota drivers and Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. to know that they're not going to have to deal with Larson, at least for quite some time, side by side for the race lead down the backstretch.
Exactly right. Under the Big Hoss TV, there they go, the teammates. Denny Hamlin now gets that lead spot midway through 3 and 4. Truex will slide right in behind him.
Denny Hamlin's Yahoo machine is on a roll right now as he takes over the point. Truex is second. The battle is going to be for third. Todd Gilliland back there fighting with Ross Chastain.
Gilliland will lose the 3rd spot first to Tyler Reddick. Now Ross Chastain will try to take 4th away from him, but Gilliland gets off turn 2 quite well. Keeps Chastain for the moment back in 5th.
Then there's Ryan Blaney behind Chastain. Chase Elliott is there, along with Michael McDowell. Pass on the racetrack. Chase Briscoe goes after William Byron at the bottom of the racetrack, and he'll get that spot.
So Kyle Larson has been released. He is back on the racetrack, trailing the end of the field as he comes down to the line. He indeed now is 2 laps down. Kyle Larson has a long way to go after leading this race 5 times for 77 laps.
Turn number 2. It is the car of Josh Berry. He gets sideways, slides up against the outside wall, backs it in, damage to the rear of the car. He simply lost it getting into turn number 1, slid up the banking, tried to keep it off the wall, but no success, unfortunately.
That is the 5th yellow flag here in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. And Denny Hamlin now takes the field across the line at a slow speed, followed by Martin Truex Jr. and Tyler Reddick. 3 Toyotas now at the head of the field. We'll come back in just a moment.
NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
We work hard to keep our cars looking great on the outside, but engine components need our attention too. That's where you can trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, to keep your car or truck running at its peak. By soaking into the metal of your engine, Z-Max Micro Lubricant improves performance, extends engine life, and reduces emissions. Trust the many customers who've said, "Thanks for saving my engine." Find out more at zmax.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Josh Berry crashed in turn 2, fifth yellow of the day. Good news for Jimmy Johnson. That puts the 7-time champion back on the lead lap. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
If you have a chance to make a difference in a kid's life, you need to take full advantage of that opportunity.
For those kids to know somebody has their back, and somebody is caring about them, thinking about them when they feel like nobody is.
Anything that I can do now to support Speedway Children's Charities, I do, because I've seen the work firsthand.
We owe it to children, no matter where they come from.
Unfortunately, there is no end to some of the terrible atrocities in our world. Speedway Children's Charities can feel really good that we are getting the most good out of every dollar that's given. At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
Because all children
deserve joy
And hope.
And love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future is our future.
And there's still so much they can teach us.
Find out more at speedwaycharities.org.
I'm Richard Petty. As we honor Doug Rice this season, here's another great moment from more than 35 years on PRN.
It was billed as a championship fight coming into Texas Motor Speedway. Don't know if it was a knockout punch, but a big win today for Tony Stewart as he takes the checkered flag in the AAA Texas 500 and gains precious ground on Carl Edwards with only 2 races to go in the chase for 2011.
Hey, Doug, have a happy retirement.
Time now for our Weather Guard Top the Box feature. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
I'm with James Small, crew chief for Martin Truex Jr. The Toyotas are awfully tough today. What kind of advice are you giving to Martin Truex Jr.? What does your car have left here at Texas today, James?
Yeah, right now it's just trying to hang on to this track position. You know, we took a setback early in stage 1 there and lost some, and through strategy and different tires, being able to work our way back up there. So really for us here is just try to make it to the end of the stage when it resets, hopefully, and we can get on 4 tires again with everyone else.
Has radio communication been an issue today with Martin?
Yeah, it's been in and out, very spotty, so that's making it difficult, but overall, hopefully it's okay for the rest of the race.
All right, good luck out there. That's James Small, crew chief for Martin Truex Jr.
Thank you very much, Wendy Venturini. Race fans know that there's no letting up, even when you're leading the field, and the front runner in truck boxes knows this also. So when it comes to durability, security, and innovation, the folks at WeatherGuard aren't taking their foot off the gas anytime soon. Learn more at weatherguard.com.
Truex had a streak of 5 straight top 10s, which included a runner-up at Bristol and a near-miss 4th-place run at Richmond, broken when he finished 18th last week at Martinsville. Let's go down to Alec Cavana.
Well, when Kyle Larson lost that wheel, crew chief Chris Gabehart came over the radio and told Denny Hamlin, look, we just got a big break. Let's go take advantage of this. What did Denny Hamlin do? He went out there and took the lead from teammate Martin Truex Jr. on that last restart. Hamlin now in control of the race, trying to win yet another race on the season. Brad Gilly.
Alan, I can tell you the reason why Kyle Larson lost the wheel. Obviously a loose lug nut, but what happened was they actually came in, they did a 2-tire call on that last pit stop. When they put the lug nut back on, it actually didn't have the detents that are on the hub that are supposed to secure the lug nut. They didn't pop back out. That allowed the lug nut to get loosened up. That allowed the wheel to fall off.
Tough break again for Kyle Larson, who's being listed now in the 36th position, 2 laps down. So 1 lap to go signal has been given. We'll have 40 laps to go in stage number 2 when we go back to green. Denny Hamlin, your leader. Martin Truex Jr. second. Tyler Reddick third. Todd Gilliland is 4th. 5th, Ross Chastain. Ryan Blaney 6th. 7th, Chase Elliott. Michael McDowell 8th. 9th, William Byron. 10th is Chase Briscoe.
11th is Joey Logano. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 12th. 13th is Ryan Preece. Gregson rides 14th. Eric Jones is 15th. 16th to Cindric. Zane Smith is 17th, 18th, Keselowski, 19th, Suarez, and 20th is Ty Gibbs.
Then 21st, it is going to be Kyle Busch, Justin Haley 22nd, Chris Buescher 23rd, Bubba Wallace and Daniel Hemrick round out the top 25. The rest of the top 30, Carson Hocevar, Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton. It is then Corey LaJoie and Austin Dillon.
Feeling about ready to hop into the Geico restart zone once again. 143 laps to go, 124 in the books here. So we still have half a race left to run here at Texas Motor Speedway. The crowd stands, the fans waving their hat as they react to their favorites coming by and taking the green flag again. Pair of Toyotas on the point. Denny Hamlin on the low side, flanked to his outside. Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. gets a bit of a shot from Todd Gilliland. He gets about a fender-length lead over Denny Hamlin. They'll stay door-to-door on the exit of turn number 2. A much better restart this time for Truex.
And they stay door-to-door. Talking about Martin Truex Jr. to the outside, Denny Hamlin to the inside. They race into turn 3. Here comes Hamlin. He'll get out in front by a car length now, and Truex will fall in behind.
Ross Chastain, the man on the move. He rockets on the inside of turn number 4. He blasts by Todd Gilliland. Now he drives to the inside of Tyler Reddick as they fight for third.
After starting 11th, Ross Chastain didn't look like a 10th to 15th place car. He slides up the banking, almost collects Tyler Reddick as he got to the back bumper of Martin Truex Jr., and there was no place to go. Everybody gets through.
And that jumbles up everybody behind Chastain. We see Michael McDowell going to work on Blaney. He'll try to take a spot and benefit from that move down in turn 2.
Reddick slid up and got about 6 spots further back than where he was. Todd Gilliland's ran a pretty good race today, and along with Michael McDowell here, Rob.
Yeah, those 2 cars from Front Row Motorsports having a very exemplary afternoon. We expected McDowell to be good, but Gilliland has had some really strong mile-and-a-half runs so far this year, Pat.
Gilliland runs about a half a car length behind Ross Chastain. Then it's about 4 car lengths back to his teammate Michael McDowell. Ryan Blaney is there. Tyler Reddick is there. And Chase Elliott trying to put a move on Reddick.
Remember, Todd Gilliland did not pit with the leaders. His tires 18 laps worse than the guys ahead of him, but he's holding his own there in 4th.
He is. He's making track position look very, very important, which we know it is, but usually if you've got older tires, they start to go away. Right now, he's hanging pace with third-running Chastain.
I was getting ready to say, nobody told him his tires are supposed to be worse. Right now, he's trying to get up there and challenge for that 3rd position. He'll go up a little higher on the racetrack. Good door-to-door battle. Chase Elliott and Truex going 4.
Right now, it's going to be Tyler Reddick on the outside of Chase Elliott, and Elliott battling back to the inside. They're glued together to 1.
There's a bit of contact right past the start-finish line. Tyler Reddick had tried the low way around the last 2 laps unsuccessfully. Went to the top side, thought he had him passed, but almost wrecked both cars.
Now Reddick's got a mirror full of William Byron as they battle down the backstretch. They go nose to tail into turn 3. Reddick slides up the racetrack. We'll see if Byron can take advantage now off of turn number 4.
So Elliott has moved to 7th. Reddick in the 8th spot in danger of falling back even more. Again, Byron applying the pressure in turn 1.
We'll watch that fight for the 7th position as Denny Hamlin dances away. 20 car lengths his advantage over teammate Truex. And now Chastain begins to narrow the gap between himself and Martin Truex.
Yeah, good call, Rob. That's what I was watching. Chastain almost got to the back bumper of Truex there. Now he continues to work and fight for that. Another 2-car battle. Right now, Reddick having some very difficult times in the middle of 3 and 4. He gets up another spot.
Guy slid way up the racetrack. Watching Ross Chastain, Rob Albright, he may make a run at Truex here for 2nd.
Just a car length of differentiation between the 2, although Truex gets in really deep, but Martin Truex has to roll up the banking about 2 car widths, and that enables Chastain to get right to his back bumper.
Chastain gets a much better exit out of turn 2. That gives him an opportunity down here in 3 and 4. He'll try to go to the higher side of that 1 lane we're working. Truex holds on to the spot.
Joey Logano has slipped under Tyler Reddick, moved him up to 9th. Reddick now 10th. Reddick, though, wants the spot back. He's staring at Joey Logano's back bumper in turn 1.
Tyler Reddick has had a good race car all afternoon long, but struggling now to find some consistency as Joey Logano has taken that spot away, and we've got a new 2nd place car.
Yeah, the Watermelon Man is up in the 2nd spot now. He's got a long way to go to get to Denny Hamlin, but Truex backs up to the 3rd spot. Then there's Gilliland, Michael McDowell, and Ryan Blaney.
Chastain got around Truex, and he's trying to pull away about 8 car lengths. Nice battle back here right now with Michael McDowell. He's trying to hold off Ryan Blaney. They're fighting for 5th.
And right in front of that pair is McDowell's teammate, Todd Gilliland, who's continuing to run the bottom and running a very clean and consistent line enabling him to hang on to that spot. Blaney really wants to get around McDowell.
Yeah, he goes about a half a car length back now. McDowell will pull his car down to that bottom line. He'll go to work on his teammate. He's got to. Blaney's really coming hard. McDowell goes to work on Gilliland.
As they come across the stripe, there's 31 laps to go in stage one. The gap, Hamlin to Chastain, 1.6 seconds.
And behind Chastain, it's about 15 car lengths to Truex, then another 15 back to Michael McDowell, who's just taken third away from Gilliland. Gilliland with a mirror full of Blaney.
Watch it again as Ryan Blaney tries to go to work on Gilliland. They enter turn 3, and Gilliland will take his car and keep it about a half a lane off the bottom of the racetrack. That gives Blaney an opportunity to look to the bottom. Can he make a move?
Cole Custer with Kyle Larson losing a wheel out there, dropping to minus 2 laps down, and he's currently in 35th. Changes everything in this race, literally in the blink of an eye. And all these other competitors, they're aware of that, aren't they?
Yeah, it's almost anybody's game now. I mean, I think the field is so tight. You see how Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, Martin Truex Jr., they're all in the fight now. And I think when you see how close this field is, anybody who gets a good pit stop work, some good strategy, they're going to see themselves as a fight to win this race.
Todd Gilliland on those older tires, still holding on to 5th, getting pressure from Ryan Blaney. When Blaney looks in his rearview mirror, Chase Elliott is closing in.
And Todd Gilliland right about now is probably thinking, we're in trouble. 29 laps to go in the stage. He's got the oldest tires on the racetrack, and he's falling farther and farther behind his teammate.
Now, but Gilliland's doing a good job right now. Blaney's going to try to set him up here in turn 3. He'll stay in his tire tracks. Blaney's going to go peek to the outside around Gilliland, not going to be able to make that move on turn 4.
Right, we've got problems over in turn 2. It's got a car up against the wall, and I think that's going to be the second time today for Josh Berry to bring out the yellow. That will be our 6th yellow of the day. As once again, problems for Josh Berry in the 4 machine.
Well, he had a problem earlier there, Doug. This is going to be the final problem because that right front tire has been demolished on that race car. I really don't see any way they're going to be able to repair that car. Another tough break for Josh Berry. We'll take a quick break and come right back to Texas Motor Speedway as we try to finish up stage 2 in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400.
Hey racing fans, William Byron here, driver of the number 24 Liberty University Chevy. I'm excited to tell you that Liberty is giving away $74,000 in scholarships. Winners can choose from over 600 online programs of study and join me as a Liberty student. Get your future on track today. Learn more about Liberty University's $74,000 scholarship giveaway at liberty.edu/24. That's liberty.edu/24.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Is your insurance playbook getting too confusing? Well, make it easy. Switch to Geico. Get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started. So, the green light is flashing. Pit road is open. Will we have takers? Denny Hamlin, will he lead the field on the pit road? Yes, he will. Chastain doesn't pit. McDowell doesn't as well. Let's go down now to Alan Cabana.
Denny Hamlin pits from the lead. He says he needs a lot of help launching off corners 2 and 4. It's a 4-tire stop for Denny Hamlin when he been ready.
Martin Truex Jr. says he needs right rear grip, center, and off of 3 and 4 was his biggest help. It's 4 tires and fuel. Also 4 tires for Chase Elliott, who gets stopped in his stall. Brad Gilley.
Ryan Blaney comes in. They were going to stay out if the 2 leaders had pitted, but they came in, which now opens up options for them later in the race. 4 tires in Sunoco. Also in on my end of pit road, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, and Corey LaJoie.
Ty Gibbs, it looks like, will lead them off the pit road, followed by Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney. That was your top 6. Again, want to mention that Chastain, McDowell, and Stenhouse did not pit. They stayed on the racetrack. We owe our stations a local break. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hey, this is Carson Svar, and you're listening to Country Radio Hall of Famers Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country Classic.
It's Kathy and Tim McGraw. I can see you getting more into the technical. I can see you producing.
It's a fun thing to learn. I enjoy doing it. When I get the opportunities to do it, I try to learn as much as I can.
Hey, it's Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country Classic.
Racing Country Classics.
Each year, vehicle trespasser and pedestrian accidents along railroads change the course of innocent lives, from train operators and passengers to families and first responders. Interacting safely with tracks and trains is the goal. It's important to be alert when approaching crossings. Never drive or walk around lowered gates. Do not walk on or beside the tracks. Trespassing is dangerous and illegal. Don't risk your life. Keep clear and stay safe. For more information, visit metrolinktrains.com/stay safe.
As always, our pit reporters today brought to you by the great folks at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Let's go down to Alan Cavana.
Well, it was a split decision when it came to pitting amongst the teams. The leader, Denny Hamlin, came down. Chris Gabehart came on the radio after that pit stop and said he wanted fuel and tires now to give him options later on when it comes to making other decisions later on in the race. Then he asked him, did you make any handling adjustments? Remember, he's the leader, or was the leader, and was dominating the race, controlling the race. And Chris Gabehart says, no, we didn't make any handling changes because I knew you were going to be out there in traffic. I don't want to change the car for later if you're once again out there in the lead. Wendy Venturini.
When I saw an issue with Chase Elliott's pit stop, it was the right rear tire changer who was kneeled down and did not stand up at the end of the pit stall, which made me believe they might not have gotten that lug exactly tight. I just watched the replay back in slow motion, and it looks like it did have enough revolutions to tighten that, left rear tire on Chase Elliott. And then as he left pit road, there was traffic and he had to come to a stop, so it also stalled. But it looks like he didn't lose any track position. When he's restarting, it should came out in the 5th position for Chase Elliott.
So as we take a look at things, 9 drivers stayed out. Let's reset the field. We're about to go green with 23 laps to go in stage number 2. Ross Chastain is now your leader. Michael McDowell second. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. third. 4th is Eric Jones. 5th is Brad Keselowski. Bubba Wallace 6th. 7th, Harrison Burton. 8th is Carson Hocevar. Those cars did not pit. Ty Gibbs with the 2-tire stop is 9th. 10th is Denny Hamlin. 11 through 15, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, William Byron. 16 to 20, Tyler Reddick, Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez, Noah Gregson, and Ryan Preece. The rest of our top 25, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Zane Smith, Austin Cindric, and Chris Buescher. That leaderboard update brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app. Real quick, Cole Custer, you're telling me that you've seen a lot of aggressiveness now on the restarts.
These guys are getting all they can get. They're making any 3-wide move they can. They know this is the best time to try and make up some spots because it is hard to pass. So you see guys, 25 to go in this stage, they're going to be getting after it.
They sure will. As they come down to the stripe, again, 23 to go in stage number 2. Pace car, Jesse Dolivut, the pace car driver, takes it to pit lane. Ross Chastain inside of row 1 to his outside, Michael McDowell. They lead the field into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. Chastain, McDowell, door to door in turn 1.
2 drivers with an opportunity to lead for the very first time this afternoon. Michael McDowell, a slight advantage in turn number 1. It is Ross Chastain battling back on the bottom, and they remain locked together out of 2.
Michael McDowell and Ross Chastain battling for the lead here at Texas. That blue car on the bottom has got a 1 on it. That's Chastain. He wants to be in that first spot. But Michael McDowell is going to hold him down at the bottom of the racetrack. But McDowell loses it. Big time. The field coming right at him. McDowell tries to hold on to the race car. Everybody scrambles to get out of the way. And fortunately, a 1-car spin. Caution's out.
Absolutely remarkable there that Michael McDowell didn't collect more of the field. He got into the wall pretty hard there with the rear of his car, came back in front of all the traffic, but now he rests in the infield grass. And Mark, unbelievable that no one else got into the 34 car.
That was the car running second that bounced off the wall, and you had all those race cars behind him. And Michael McDowell's car, that looks cattywampus going down the front stretch here. It looks like big time damage, right side, right front, Cole.
Yeah, for sure. The right front's all towed out. The left rear's toes all askew. So it's going to be an end of the day for those guys. That's a shame. And they had such a great day going. but just lost it in 3 and 4.
Let's go to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilly.
Mark, Michael McDowell just got on the radio and said, sorry, guys, I just couldn't save it the moment that it took off. He's trying to get to his pit box, but as you guys just documented the damage, that's going to pretty much be an impossible thing because he actually can't make a right turn. Right now, he's actually trying to back up and move the car, but as soon as he starts to move forward, the way that right rear is pointed, it is not going to allow the car to go the way it wants to go. So, as Cole said, it's going to be a pretty tough one if they can fix it. Might be the end of the day for McDowell.
So he backs it into the fence, bounces backwards down across the racetrack, and as he does, they're dodging inside. Then they go, no, half the field's going to go outside. Then some cars going down pit lane. How nobody collected Michael McDowell. Doug, as you were talking about how that happened, I do not know. That was some great driving back there.
Good on the rest of the field. Business is picking up for the flag stand here at Texas Motor Speedway. We had our fourth yellow flag at lap 113. Then again, Josh Berry brought it out at lap 120. At 137, unfortunately for Josh Berry, he brought it out again. 143, it's Michael McDowell. That's 7 yellow flags here today.
So NASCAR starter Shannon Bednarik, she's going to have to maybe ice down her right shoulder here. If we have to keep throwing that yellow flag, and then, of course, the green flag that hopefully follows that.
She's been pretty busy here today, and we are not halfway just yet. We are a little bit past halfway. 144 down, 123 to go out of the 267 that make up 400 miles here at Texas Motor Speedway.
NASCAR also taking this opportunity now to go out there and clean up some of the marbles up against the wall. They've got the sweeper out there. They also have the jet dryer kind of blowing things down the racetrack as well. And Cole, how important is that to get some of that stuff out of that upper groove when they have the chance?
It's definitely appreciated. I mean, whenever these guys get out of the groove, it's definitely a handful out there. But, I mean, you can see Michael McDowell out there. He was going for the lead. He was pushing all he could in the second lane to try and make it happen. And he got to those bumps in 3 and 4, and the car just couldn't handle it.
So as a race driver, you go, I think I got it. Oh no, I don't have it at all. This is going to be bad.
Yeah, he felt really good about it the first half of the corner, but he probably saw those bumps out in front of him in the second half, and he said, oh no, his eyes probably got pretty big.
Cole, I've heard you reference the bumps out of 3 and 4 a couple of times. How pronounced are they? Is that like running over an alligator on the interstate?
For sure. I mean, especially with how low these crew chiefs are running the cars through 3 and 4, they're getting all they can get. So it hits a shock limiter, it bottoms out on a rut block. They're pushing it to the limit. So the second you try and go through there a little bit too fast, it's going to bite you.
So before somebody gets upset and says he's advocating running over alligators, I'm talking about the big chunks of the tires that come off the 18-wheelers that kind of look like alligators.
Right.
I'm not actually recommending that you drive through the swamp.
So anybody belonging to the SPCA, do not write hateful messages on Twitter against Doug Rice.
Chose my words poorly there. As we're under the 7th yellow flag of the day, and we're starting to whittle away some cars here that are going to be going out of competition. Michael McDowell's car on the hook. He is headed to the garage area. Already off the racetrack today. Austin Hill, Alex Bowman, Josh Berry, and now Michael McDowell. And we've seen a lot of races the last couple of years of this car, Mark, that every car that started the race was running at the end. That's not going to be the case here today.
Absolutely not, and I believe Kyle Larson has just gotten the free pass, so I believe he's going to go from 2 to -1. We'll have to make sure that we document that when he comes back by the start-finish line. We'll take a look at the electronic timing, but would that be a little bit of help to get that done before the end of stage number 2?
And he's probably in good shape to get that back at the end of stage number 2. Not trying to project, but only 19 laps to go. Cole, we've had this flurry of cautions. You don't crash easy here, do you?
No, I mean, it definitely, the thing that happens is cautions cause cautions, obviously. So these guys, they're racing all they got on these restarts to make up spots. So we keep having these cautions. So it just keeps lending to just keeping having the yellow flags here, and the more aggressive these guys get, the more cautions there's going to be.
You must have a great crystal ball, because we just talked about before that last restart with Michael McDowell, Ross Chastain, how aggressive they've gotten, and boy, this could be a problem. And Michael McDowell again trying hard tried a little too hard. It just simply comes down to that.
Well, he's going for a stage win here. I mean, that's a huge deal for those guys. If they can get some points, get a playoff point. So he was doing all he could there, but you could just tell that the field, it's ramping up. These guys, they're making 3 wide moves. Chase Briscoe there, he was trying to make 3 wide moves in 1 and 2. He tried to dive to the bottom to 3 wide and 3 and 4. It's just anything these guys can get, they're going to try and get it.
Do want to give a personal shout out here to a good friend of ours that's dropped by the booth, Alanis King. She's one of the top car reviewers in the country and a fun follow on any of the social media platforms, especially Instagram and YouTube. And Mark, I know that you've joined the allegiance there.
Yes, I have. I admit it. I've done it.
And you want to figure out which new car you're supposed to buy? Alanis can probably.
I just like the souped up stuff she gets to drive. You know, this other little Prius and all that stuff. Nah, but the souped up stuff, I'm there.
And you can learn all about Black Cat Porsche, by the way, if you follow Alanis.
And, you know, Doug, also, while we have a moment, want to say, give our condolences to the Labonte family. Bob Labonte passing away this week. Doug, you and I have spent a lot of time in the Busch Series garage with Bob Labonte.
We have over the many years ago.
He is a one of a kind. They threw away the mold with Bob Labonte, and he was a tough nut, boy. I tell you what, he was a fiery crew chief for the Labonte sons. I want to say Labonte brothers, but for Bob, their sons first. And we're sure going to miss Bob Labonte. He was one of a kind, no doubt about it.
And he helped bring 2 of the best racers ever in this business into this, with Terry Labonte with a couple of championships, and Bobby Labonte, of course, bringing home the title. And we send out our prayers and condolences to the entire Labonte family. Here today in Texas Motor Speedway seems to be an appropriate place to recognize the Labontes, because for a long time it was Texas Terry.
Yeah, absolutely. And Doug, I remember years ago at Dover, Bob got upset about something that NASCAR did. He said, I didn't have the guts enough to report it on the radio. I said, can I quote you? He said, yes, you can. So I went on the radio, said it. He comes back the next day and goes, what are you doing? I'm in trouble with NASCAR. I said, you're the one that told me I could quote you. Let's go down to Brad Gilley.
Mark, this is interesting. So on the first green flag cycle of pit stops, I had reported a big fire on pit road. And that came from Corey LaJoie's car as he was exiting. A lot of the fuel spilled. I thought that was actually just a little one-off thing. Well, I've not seen another fire. He just came in during this cycle of pit stops, and they were trying to pump fuel into his car and get it in with the fuel can. Every time they disengaged the fuel can, fuel was pouring out of the inlet for the back of his race car. So even though fuel is going in, it's literally just pushing right back out.
All right, thanks a lot. Great stuff there from Brad Gilley. Kyle Larson, only 1 lap down now. We'll see if he can hold serve and get back on the lead lap after being -2 after losing a right rear tire. Chastain is our leader. Stenhouse is second. Third goes to Eric Jones. Fourth is Bubba Wallace. Brad Keselowski fifth. Hocevar up to 6. Harrison Burton 7th. Denny Hamlin 8th. 9th is Joey Logano. Ty Gibbs 10th.
Chase Elliott 11th. 12th is Chase Briscoe. Martin Truex Jr. 13th. 14th is Reddick. 15th Blaney. 16th is William Byron. Todd Gilliland 17th. 18th Zane Smith. Noah Gregson 19th. 20th is Chris Buescher.
Field headed back to the Geico restart zone here as the lights are off on the pace car. 17 circuits to go. It'll be 16 when they get back to the line here in stage number 2. And we've completed 148, 119 to go. Green flag waves, and the field comes up to speed. It is Ross Chastain on the inside, flanked to his outside. It's Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
What do you say we just stay green now for the rest of this stage? I think everybody in the stands would agree to that. Ross Chastain is the race leader, side by side, fight for second between Stenhouse Jr. and Eric Jones down the backstretch.
That battle for second one is a hot one. Inside, it's Jones. To the outside, Stenhouse. Not either one of them giving an inch here as they battle hard for that second spot, while the leader, Chastain, gets away.
Chastain is now making a move away from the rest of the field. 15 to go in stage 2. Still Jones, Stenhouse, side by side. Right there, Bubba Wallace looking for some racing room.
Doesn't matter who's led the race. He's looked like Superman on restarts, piloting to a big lead as continuing to race side by side for second. are the cars of Jones and Stenhouse.
And they stay door to door, side by side, just like the last time into the third corner. Nobody giving an inch here. Bubba Wallace pulls up in that fourth spot. He's going to be challenged in just a minute by Carson Hosebar.
Chastain by 20 car lengths is the race leader. Fierce battle for second. Stenhouse with Jones to the inside. Bubba Wallace sticks his nose in there.
Two of these three guys have not been factors all afternoon long, starting deep in the field. That, of course, Stenhouse and Jones. Bubba Wallace qualified well, but he hasn't raced great, but he's now in the mix running fourth.
So Jones gets that second spot now. Stenhouse back to third. Here's Bubba in the fourth spot. Side by side battle going into the corner. Hosebar is going to give up a spot to watching the Brad Keselowski car move around.
So Brad Keselowski now moves up into the fifth spot. Right behind him, Hosebar. Harrison Burton now is pressuring him. Denny Hamlin has fallen off the pace. He's lost 3 spots.
I've been watching him. He's going backwards. Restarted 8th. He's fallen back to the 11th position. And now he finally gets back up to speed. Not sure what might have been the case as the leaders head to 3.
Back up front, battle for that third spot. It's Bubba Wallace going to work, and he goes to the bottom to try to wrestle that spot away from Ricky Stenhouse. Move Wallace up a spot now.
So Bubba Wallace, for the first time today, looking feisty, gets around Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's up to third. Brad Keselowski has clawed his way up into the top 5.
Boy, he has at one point in stage 1. He had dropped about 15 positions. Looked like he was in jeopardy of going a lap down. Now he'll draw even with Stenhouse Jr. He'll make quick work of him, maybe, as they work to 3.
Yeah, it's a maybe, and they stay side by side for more maybe into turn 3. Here goes Brad down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to take that spot away as they race off 4.
11 laps left in stage number 2. Chastain driving away as Keselowski now slips by Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It is Eric Jones in the second position. Third is the car of Bubba Wallace. Fourth at the bottom of the racetrack is now Brad Keselowski. The best we've seen from him all day long.
Now the battle shapes up back here with, it's the Wood Brothers car number 21. Probably as he goes to work in the bottom of the Hosebar on the outside there, watching once again as he tries to make that move getting to the bottom of the racetrack.
A little bit of strategy here being played by Kyle Larson. He is the only car a lap down. At Cole Custer, he's just parading around the racetrack back there, staying out of trouble. If this ends up this way, he gets the lucky dog and he's back on the lead lap.
Well, I think he sees the guys in front of him and he's saying, I don't want to be a part of that right now. I don't need any of that. They're getting crazy up there trying to make moves. So he's trying to be smart, trying to get himself back on the lead lap.
After being 2 laps down when they lost a right rear tire. Coming back here to the start-finish line. It'll be 9 laps to go for our race leader, Ross Chastain.
And his margin has narrowed somewhat over second-running Eric Jones. I think he may be just managing the gap at this point in time. He's about 15 car lengths ahead. Bubba Wallace, however, Pat, is slowly narrowing the gap between himself and Jones.
Yeah, he's trying to close down and get as many points as he can in this finish behind Wallace. That's where you find Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse Jr. going to be on attack real quick by Harrison Burton. Right behind Harrison Burton is Ryan Blaney. Those 3 cars on
4. 8 laps to go in stage number 2. Chase Briscoe is just past Carson Hosevar. So move Briscoe now up to 8th. Leaders back in 1.
And things are tightening up for that second position as Eric Jones continues in 1 and 2 to run right on the bottom. Moving up the lane is Bubba Wallace, and that has enabled him to close.
Let's watch Bubba Wallace as he goes to work down here in turn number 3. He'll show the nose to the right side, driver's right. Can't quite get close enough to make that pass on Eric Jones.
So when Chastain comes by this time, it'll be 7 laps to go. Here goes Bubba Wallace peeking to the inside of Eric Jones, the 23, trying to move around the 43 of Jones.
Classic crossover move. He was to the outside of Jones, exiting turn number 4. By the time he got turn number 1, he quickly dropped to the bottom and made the pass look relatively easy.
Behind that group, Ryan Blaney's making more progress as he works his way up the leaderboard. He moves now into turn at number 3, gets around Stenhouse. Behind him, Harrison Burton, also trying to go to work on the 47.
Let's go to the Care Center with Alan Cavana.
Michael McDowell out of the Care Center. That was a high-speed, scary-looking hit. What happened?
Yeah, I was just trying to get the lead. Had good momentum on Ross. Track position was such an important part of today, so got through the bump there, and as I got through the bump, just got loose. I hate it for everybody. Our Loves Travel Stop Ford Mustang was really fast today. Just one of those things, just racing hard, trying to get the lead, and got through the bumps a little bit too hard, and that was it.
What was the racing like out there? You had strategy, allowed a lot of drivers to get up toward the front.
Yeah, it ebbed and flowed today, as people were taking 2 tires, no tires, pitting, all those things. And we kind of maintained in the top 10 all day. and felt like, we had a good car and a good opportunity there, but we knew we needed to try to take control of the race, and that was our opportunity to do it.
Rough day for Michael McDowell ends with a crash.
Chastain across the stripe. 4 laps to go in stage 2. We have Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott just passed Carson Hocevar. They're 9th and 10th.
As we watched Bubba Wallace the last couple of laps, he had moved up a lane in turns 1 and 2, and he was closing the gap on Ross Chastain. I think it's stabilized, but I don't think this stage is over yet, Pat.
No, I'm not sure it is either. Bubba's still got time if he can continue to kind of eat into this lead, calling about 10 car lengths, maybe 8 car lengths off turn 4.
There's a nice race going on for third behind the 2 leaders here, and it is getting fierce. Blaney is trying to get underneath Brad Keselowski, and Keselowski's working on Eric Jones.
Blaney's the one who's been on the move over the last half a dozen laps. He'll pick up a spot, dispatching with Brad Keselowski. Now he's got his sights set on the 3rd place car dead ahead. That's Eric Jones.
Bubba's got a mirror full of a very fast, Ross Chastain's got a mirror full of Bubba right now going into turn 3. I still think Bubba Wallace thinks he can win this stage, guys.
He is absolutely closing in. 2 laps left here in stage number 2. Chastain the leader. Wallace closing in. Meanwhile, Blaney going around Eric Jones for 3rd.
Ryan Blaney now 20 car lengths back of the fight for the race lead, which has shrunk to about 5 car lengths of separation. Ross Chastain still has it, but it's the very slightest of margins over Bubba Wallace.
Down the backstretch they go. Bubba Wallace now is closing in on the leader, Ross Chastain, into turn 3. Wallace has cut it down to about 4 car lengths. Has he got enough time to make that pass on Ross Chastain?
Mile and a half to go for Bubba Wallace to try to win this stage and take it away from Ross Chastain. It's still 3 car lengths the difference into 1.
What they used to say about Ryan Newman, they often now say about Ross Chastain, toughest guy to pass anytime during the course of a race, but it looks like Bubba Wallace may have one last shot at getting that done.
Here comes Bubba Wallace now. Half a car length separate first and second, racing into turn 3. Chastain will stay just off the white line at the bottom of the racetrack. Bubba's about a car and a half lengths behind him. Don't think he can get it done.
Bubba Wallace has run out of time. Ross Chastain will win stage 2 of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. First stage win in 2024, the 11th different driver to win a stage. Bubba Wallace 2nd, Ryan Blaney 3rd in stage number 2, Eric Jones 4th, Chase Briscoe 5th, Brad Keselowski 6th, 7th Harrison Burton, 8th Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Also getting points in stage number 2, Ty Gibbs finishes 9th, Chase Elliott in 10th.
Hi, I'm Steven Singer. Yep, that's me, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. You know what I hate? Disappointing my mom. Moms are impossible. You buy them roses and a week later they're dead and forgot. Oh, the roses, not your mom. What if you could get her a real long stem rose that would last forever? Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com and see my famous roses, lavishly and deeply dipped in 24-karat gold. The only rose guaranteed to last a lifetime. They start at $59, shipped with your own personalized Mother's Day card. Only at IHateStevenSinger.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on the driver who treats the highway like a racetrack and the shoulder like a passing lane. Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Kyle Larson back on the lead lap here at Texas Motor Speedway as we are under the 8th caution of the day for the conclusion of stage number 2. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Time to pull down on the handle and start rolling them here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The green flag flies at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We're about to contest the Coca-Cola 600.
We're racing at Texas Motor Speedway.
Now Keselowski goes way up the racetrack.
Here comes Harrison Burton. He rockets to the lead.
Trouble. Car goes around. It's Chris Buescher.
Joey Logano battles to the outside. They come back to the start-finish line.
Bubba Wallace looks inside, and now here's Byron. Takes a quick left to block him. They head back to 1.
Here goes Ross Chastain. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack.
Bubba goes up. Blaney hits the outside wall off of turn 2.
Can Christopher Bell do anything with him? He gets down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Briscoe dives to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side. They get loose. They spin. Now Tyler Reddick does the 360. So does Briscoe.
Heading into turn number 7 as he wraps it around. The crowd is cheering for Daniel Suarez here on this final lap.
Allmendinger gets into Alex Bowman. Ross Chastain back out to the front for the final time.
This is PRN.
here at Texas Motor Speedway, 8th caution flag of the day. This one for the conclusion of stage 2. Got a little out of control there in that second stage with a crash claiming Michael McDowell. You heard from him a moment ago. He is out. Josh Berry's out along with Alex Bowman and Austin Hill. Now, Kyle Larson lost a right rear tire earlier on in this race. That brought out, that was under a yellow flag. He came in, he lost 2 laps. He has now made up both of those laps. So we'll see if Kyle Larson in the last 100 laps of this race can be a player once again. Depends how much damage was done to the undercarriage of that car as a result of the right rear tire coming off. Pit road looks like it's going to be open this time, and I imagine it is going to be very busy. As Chastain leads the parade down, let's go to Alan Cavana.
Ross Chastain used all that clean air to take the lead and then dominate, get that stage win. He is now in. He says he's tight going into the corner and then loose off, especially turn 4. So they're going to go on the right side, put 2 tires on, make an adjustment in the back of the car, and then put left sides on it as well. Trying to get out right past Jimmy Johnson off pit road. Wendy Venturini.
Austin Dillon is one of the only cars that comes down on my end of pit road. He is going to take 4 tires with a wedge adjustment with Sunoco Fuel. Brad Gilley.
Ryan Blaney came down on my end. Snap-on was the code word. That's a 2-tire stop. Eric Jones came in for 4 tires and Sunoco Race Fuel.
So as they came off the pit lane, as we take a look at the scoring, it is going to be Ryan Blaney coming off the pit lane just ahead of Ross Chastain. They're Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Ryan Preece, and Kyle Busch. Those were the cars who pitted, but not everybody did that.
And Cole Custer, we've watched today, and you made reference to it a couple of times. Track position is so important. We saw that a moment ago with Brad Keselowski. He hasn't been a factor in this, but through manipulations of pit stops, they came out with good track position, and he lands in 5th and stays there.
Yeah, these crew chiefs, they're working overtime today. I mean, my brain hurts. I have a headache just thinking about it. I can't even keep up with it right now where the strategy's at. So you can see, I mean, the field is so tight. If you can just work some strategy, get yourself into the top 15, top 10, you're going to stay there. So anything that these crew chiefs can do to try and get some track position, they're going to do it.
Have you ever been in a war room on Sunday back at the shop as they're feeding more data, more options to the crew chief?
Yeah, I mean, they got 2 or 3 engineers back at the shop trying to feed them information about what we can do to try and gain some spots on pit road. And they got every engineer on it right now trying to give as much information as they can.
Cole Custer, nice enough to be with us here today. Had a really nice run yesterday in his Andy's Frozen Custard machine here in the Xfinity race. Cole, we heard a moment ago they were talking about code words on pit road. I believe it was for Ryan Blaney, and the code word was snap-on. Have you ever forgotten what your code words were or the meaning of what you were supposed to do when you heard them?
That's why I don't do code words. I think you're better off just trying to make it clear, make sure you know what you're doing coming down there, because there's so many different moving pieces and parts here. For somebody to really try and steal information about what you're doing on a pit stop, it will take, that's a very low chance that's going to happen. But these guys, I mean, they're trying to get everything they can get. That just shows it how tight the field is. They're trying to surprise anybody the way they can.
There's tire strategy here today at Texas. There's also fuel strategy. Let's get an update brought to you by Sunoco. Let's first go to Brad Gilley.
Well, polar bear was the code word for Bubba Wallace. That meant stay out. Bubba Wallace is leading this race right now. As soon as the caution came out for the stage break, he was immediately told by Booty Barker, save fuel, save fuel, save fuel. Now, I was listening to the channel of Austin Cindric. They stayed out. They're in a position fuel-wise where they could actually split this final stage. That's about 50 laps in or so. For some of the other people who stayed out, Cindric has told, well, for them, they're probably going to have to come in about the time the window opens. Now, the window here opens around 65 laps to go. That's how they can go on Sunoco fuel. For the other teams that came onto pit road, for example, in my section, Ryan Blaney and Eric Jones, they have a choice. They could split the stage, they could come in when the window opens, or they could go long if they choose to and stay out until they start to run low on Sunoco race fuel. There are a lot of different options happening here in Texas.
From fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
Good to see a nice crowd here at Texas Motors Speedway today. Not a sellout, but a really healthy turnout here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon to watch NASCAR racing at its best. Let's check in with Wendy Venturini.
Well, Joey Logano has been back down pit road twice for lengthy pit stops. They have Barabon there putting on the right front quarter panel and around the nose of that race car. It's because of damage that he received on that last pit stop on pit road, of all places, not out on the racetrack. He got into it with Ty Dillon, and so he has damaged that right on that right front, but as you can hear him pulling away, they were in that last position, and they had no positions that they were going to lose by coming down pit road to fix it for him. So Joey Logano has had a rough day. John Hunter Nemechek is parked right in front of him. That's who he had that damage with on pit road. About the last stop down pit road is what the team tells me.
If you just joined us, Kyle Larson wins stage 1. Stage 2 goes to Ross Chastain. 10 leaders, 15 lead changes, 8 cautions for 40 laps as we get set for the third and final stage in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Now look at the leaderboard, brought to you by Rheem.
Bubba Wallace, the race leader. Chase Briscoe is second. Third is Harrison Burton. Fourth is Ty Gibbs. Chase Elliott is fifth. Sixth, Tyler Reddick. Denny Hamlin seventh. Eighth, William Byron. Noah Gregson ninth. 10th is Zane Smith.
11th, Justin Haley. Chris Buescher 12th. 13th, Martin Truex Jr. Austin Cindric 14th. 15th, John Hunter Nemechek. Ty Dillon 16th. 17th, Ryan Blaney. Ross Chastain 18th. 19th, Brad Keselowski. Eric Jones in 20th.
Daniel Suarez 21st. 22nd is Ryan Preece. 23rd is going to be Kyle Busch. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 24th. 25th, Austin Dillon. 26th, Corey LaJoy. Todd Gilliland 27th. Carson Hocevar 28th. 29th is Daniel Hemrick, and 30th is Jimmy Johnson.
Christopher Bell, 31st. 32nd, Kyle Larson back on the lead lap after he lost a right rear tire, went 2 laps down. Joey Logano, 33rd. Then it's Kaz Gralla. Michael McDowell is the first car out in 35th. Also out, Josh Berry, Alex Bowman in Austin Hill.
That leaderboard brought to you by Rheem. Visit Rheem.com to find a contractor near you. Rheem, provider a new degree of comfort and proud sponsor of Christopher Bell and the number 20 Toyota.
So here's Bubba Wallace leading Chase Briscoe into the Geico restart zone. We're going green with 95 laps to go here at Texas. The green flag is out. The 2 lead machines side by side leading the field to turn 1.
Slight advantage for Bubba on the bottom, but Briscoe will fight hard on the top. Toyota and Ford going at it. Briscoe closes down on him at the exit to turn. That opens the inside lane. We'll go 3 wide down the backstretch.
Briscoe out next to the wall. Harrison Burton making a bold move down to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead this race. He'll take the 21 to the front. Everybody stacks up. Now Bubba Wallace is sideways. Chase Briscoe loses control of his car. Everybody scrambles to get out of the way. 2 cars spin lazily, but we get the caution flag immediately for that spin.
Bubba Wallace spun, and then we had the secondary spin behind him, but it really looked like everybody, Mark Garrett for the most part, got through that without a lot of damage. Maybe just a little bit of damage for Chase Briscoe, but for the most part, it looked like everybody got away.
A bold move by Harrison Burton lit the fuse for that wreck. Burton now has led his first lap in 2024. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
Well, I'm in the 14th pit. They just said there's not much damage, but they're having trouble getting the right side of the car up. They're just going to put right sides on it, try to get out of the pits before they lose a lap, but they had a lot of trouble doing it.
Chase
Brad?
Briscoe now down and away. Let's go over to Wendy Venturini.
All right, for Bubba Wallace, he got loose right there, and that was a part of where it really started that incident. Booty Barker hopped on the radio and said, look, it doesn't look like you have any damage. Nice save. Way to save the car. All of the tires are up. They're going to come in. They'll check the car. They'll pit him for 4 tires. But, wow, big loss of track position for Bubba Wallace, who has literally gone backwards and forwards throughout the field today.
Bubba Wallace, who was the leader when all of that started, is now going to be back around probably 32nd position when they restart the field the next time by. And action is picked up. That is the 9th yellow flag of the day.
When Harrison Burton made that move in turn 3, he shoved Bubba Wallace up the racetrack. Wallace, in the slide, went up in front of Chase Briscoe, and those two might have made a little bit of contact, but Bubba Wallace was along for the ride. Burton just shot the gap on the bottom, and Bubba, trying to stay off him, got into Chase Briscoe, and they both wound up the worse for it.
Yeah, that was 3 guys. They were not lifting going in there. They were going to try and make it happen, make it stick, and they didn't stick. So the Bubba Wallace, he drove in there so deep, it just didn't hang on there for him.
Let's go to Alan Cavana.
The 14 to Chase Briscoe is back in after that spin. Again, he had the right side. The tires were down, and the clearance just so low on these cars that when those tires are down, it's hard to get the jack under the car. That's what took so long the first time. Now they're back in, really trying to assess the damage. Chase insisted he didn't really hit anybody, didn't hit Bubba too hard, so they haven't done any damage, fixed any damage in terms of bare bond. They just wanted to check it out. There's a big mark on the back of the car, though, and they put left side tires, so that's 4 fresh ones for Chase Briscoe once again.
Chase Briscoe cruising down pit road here, and I've got to describe the booth up here as Cole Custer was up here watching his teammates up toward the front, physically kind of leaning into the racetrack there. Put your interest level a little higher when it's guys that you work with.
For sure. I mean, I know that those guys, they're fighting hard to have a good run here, and they have a fast car today. They're going to have to make it up now, but you can just tell these guys, they want all the clean air they can get. I mean, those 3 guys, they're 3 wide going into the corner. They know they're probably not going to make it, but they're still going to drive it in there.
That was a big move by Harrison Burton. His best finish in the opening 8 races this year is 11th at Atlanta. 6 finishes of 30th or worse, and the average finish 29.5 coming in here to Texas. You talk about a driver that desperately needs some good news coming out of here today. It's Harrison Burton, and he drove like it when he went into turn 3.
Exactly. I mean, those guys, they're another team. They need a good day. So he's doing everything he can out there. They're working the strategy right to get themselves up there, and we'll see if he can stay up there for the rest of the stage.
Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilly.
Mark, just routine service now for Bubba Wallace. They're topping him off with Sunoco race fuel. This actually plays into a different fuel strategy now. If you remember, they stayed out at the stage break, and they were going to have to pit on the leading edge of when the pit window opened. Now they have that fuel can plugged in. He is packed full of Sunoco fuel. They changed all 4 tires, no damage on his race car. This could actually come into play later in this race for Bubba Wallace and Booty Barker.
We've seen guys come from the back to the front all day long, so don't be shocked how this plays out here as we still have 92 laps of racing to go. Let's pause 10 seconds now for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Coverage of the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Doug Rice alongside Mark Garrow and Cole Custer in the booth. In the turns, it's Rob Albright, Pat Patterson, Pit Road, Alan Cavana, Wendy Venturini, and Brad Gilly. We've been slowed by 9 cautions. The current race leader is Harrison Burton. Let's check in with Alan Cavana.
Well, Harrison Burton started this race in 29th, but they've used strategy and the magic medicine, clean air, to get him up to the lead, especially with that bold move to take the lead. Looking down the charts, though, it looks like it's about a 25-lap difference on tires. Harrison Burton's 25 laps older than most of the cars around him, so we'll see just how valuable clean air is in terms of that versus the tire wear.
Let's take you through the full field here. Harrison Burton is the race leader. He pitted on lap 115. The guy in second, Tyler Reddick, pitted on lap 139. Denny Hamlin is third. Fourth is Chase Elliott. Zane Smith is fifth. Sixth to Ty Gibbs. William Byron seventh. Eighth to Chris Buescher. Ninth to Noah Gregson. And 10th to Martin Truex Jr.
Austin Cindric 11th. Haley is 12th. 13th is Blaney. John Hunter Nemechek 14th. Keselowski is 15th. The rest of the top 20, Priest, Ty Dillon, Jones, Chastain, and Kyle Busch.
Pat Patterson, about time to crank him up here again with 90 laps to go.
Yeah, midway turns through turns 3 and 4. Here comes the field. Pace car with the lights off. And as we said, Harrison Burton is up here on the front row with Tyler Reddick. In that second row, that's where you find Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin. And Ty Gibbs is right there with Carson Hocevar. We're ready for a restart. Fans are on the beat.
And they're in the Geico restart zone. Here is Harrison Burton leading them to the green flag. He gets a great restart. A little bit of a push from Denny Hamlin, but he'll lead the field in turn number 1.
Well, that may be a short-lived lead, but Harrison Burton's going to enjoy it while he can with those older tires. To the outside, here comes Tyler Reddick. Reddick will take second, clearing Hamlin as they head down the backstretch.
Reddick gets a nice exit to turn 2 as they're midway down the backstretch. He's sizing up the leader. He's got to go because Hamlin is right there as well, looking for that third spot. But Harrison Burton's going to lead him off turn 4.
Reddick slides up a groove, keeps him from getting around Burton. Burton is the leader. Then it's Reddick. Denny Hamlin. Battle is for 4th right now, and that's going to be Zane Smith and Chase Elliott.
Zane Smith having a surprisingly good run, but he'll give up the 4th position to Chase Elliott, who flashes by on the bottom as they went through the middle of the banking in 1 and 2.
Here comes Reddick looking for the lead on the backstretch. Burton's got a mirror full of the 45 car. Into turn 3 they go. To the outside, that's where Reddick will try to make his move. Can he pull it off on 4?
Harrison Burton's tires 24 laps older than Tyler Reddick, but he continues to hold on. Reddick looked to the inside. Burton slammed the door shut.
Reddick keeps working high, working high, working high. Don't be surprised to see him go back to the bottom, but he may now be alongside. He is alongside Harrison Burton down the backstretch.
Tyler Reddick now leads this race down the backstretch here at Texas Motor Speedway. Burton slides back to second. Denny Hamlin in the third spot. Chase Elliott is there, and so is Zane Smith.
Chase Elliott on a little bit of a run right now as he's fought his way up to 4th. Let's see what these two guys can do. Right in front of him is Denny Hamlin by about a single car length as they battle for 3rd.
Zane Smith so strong in the Truck Series, knew that it was going to be an uphill pull in the Cup Series this season, having a good run late in the going here this afternoon. Race leader is Reddick by 3 car lengths.
Oh, problems. It looks like Ryan Blaney is up in the wall off of turn 2, Rob.
Yeah, Ryan got up into the wall. He's all by himself, slips up the wall. We're still waiting. The caution flag is displayed.
And it waves again here at Texas Motor Speedway for the 10th time in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Your leader is Tyler Reddick.
This season, Toyota Racing is looking for jugglers. Not the ones who toss balls or rings. Fans that can juggle the rigors of a 10-month-long season across many different racing circuits.
Well, what if I added knives?
What if you added GR Cup, Formula Drift, and off-road racing? If you can juggle it all, then we want you. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. Formula Drift is a registered trademark of Formula Drifts Holdings, LLC.
Joey Logano here for Hunt Brothers Pizza, where you can choose from 10 toppings, all at no extra charge. In a hurry, call ahead to place an order or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Follow me on the track all season long and visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcast anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
Under the 10th yellow flag of the day, Mark Garrow told me a moment ago that the record is 16, and we still have 88 laps to go. Just saying. All right, pit road is open. I don't know that it's going to be that busy as all the teams just pitted a moment ago, so we'll take our local break from Texas Motor Speedway. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, it's PRN's Brad Gilley. Did you know you can take PRN with you anywhere? That's right. By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to our live race broadcast from anywhere. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action from the track. Download today for station listings and on-demand access to your favorite studio shows like Fast Talk, The Pit Reporters, or Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app. Available in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Hey, I'm Corley Joy for Speedway Children's Charities. The mission for Speedway Children's Charities has remained true since its founding almost 40 years ago. To care for children in educational, financial, social, and medical needs in order to help them lead happy and productive lives. So many children have benefited from our group in the past, but we need your help now more than ever. There's so much we can do when we all join together, so let's start today. Visit speedwaycharities.org to learn more. I thank you in advance for your help.
Back here in the final stage at Texas Motor Speedway for the Cup Series, and not much action on pit road amongst the leaders under this caution, but plenty of talk on the radio. Denny Hamlin, who's sitting there in third, came on the radio and said, "My car is Jekyll and Hyde. Every caution does something different to my car in terms of handling." Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, commiserated, saying that, look, every time we have a cycle on these tires where we go fast, then another caution, it does stuff to change the handling. They're just waiting to get in that pit window, the final one possibly, before they come down pit road again, Brad Gilley.
About 4 minutes left on the DVP for Ryan Blaney, the damaged vehicle policy clock. When he went up into the wall in 1 and 2, he got on the radio and said toe links are destroyed. That's plural, meaning both on the right side. They went under the hood to work on the left side. There's a mechanic underneath the right rear trying to get that fixed before the DVP expires. Now they were just told 2 minutes left. This one's going to be a tough one to see if they can get it back out there. Winchman Marini.
Our leader, Tyler Reddick, was a little bit tight, but he said, I don't know what the track is doing at this point, but I feel pretty good about it. As long as they can keep clean air, he's less likely to need any adjustments. That's our leader, Tyler Reddick.
By the way, I love the Denny Hamlin reference, Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll was the good side of the personality. Hyde is the negative, evil, narcissistic side.
Glad to know.
Well, you never know, because people throw that out a lot.
We got to make sure that Jekyll gets full credit.
That's your fun fact of the day. Pat Patterson, the lights are off. We're ready to go racing.
Yes,
here.
they are. Once again, the pace car brings the field around. Going to swap these two spots that were started this last time around. This time, Tyler Reddick's going to be on the inside of this front row with Harrison Burton. Denny Hamlin is there. Chase Elliott is there. Zane Smith in that third row with the 54 of Ty Gibbs. And they pull right in front of me very slowly now. Fans all in shade over there. Feeling good out here this afternoon. About to get another restart here in Texas.
Oh, by the way, Kyle Larson has crept his way up to 23rd. He's the guy that's led the most laps. Went down 2 when he lost a tire, but back on the lead lap. Again, green flag is back out. Leading the field to turn number 1. It's Reddick on the inside, Harrison Burton on the outside.
Big advantage for Reddick because he gets a big shove from a guy who owns his race car in Denny Hamlin. Hamlin now will appropriate the second spot. Reddick blasts out to 5-car length lead.
3 wide for the third position. Chase Elliott right in the middle of it, and coming right into view is William Byron as well. Some close racing for that third, fourth, and fifth spot off turn 4.
So back to the start-finish line. It will be Tyler Reddick, followed by Denny Hamlin, and third is Chase Elliott. William Byron has moved up to 4th.
Where's Byron been all day? He and Rudy Bugle have been completely silent. He's now to the 4th position and will try to chase down his teammate Chase Elliott on the backstretch.
Tyler Reddick now with a nice, comfortable lead out in front. Denny Hamlin trying to close that gap as he drives to the bottom of the racetrack. 10 car lengths back to Chase Elliott. Another 5 back to William Byron.
And right behind them, the rookie Zane Smith having a great run this afternoon. Then door to door, it is Ty Gibbs inside. Burton is hung up on the outside. Also right there, Noah Gregson.
Of course, Burton continues to wrestle with older tires. Ty Gibbs unable to clear him, however, in the middle of the banking in turn number 2. He squeezes Harrison up the racetrack and will take the spot.
Harrison had to get out of the gas or get into the wall, one or the other, and he got out of the gas. That appropriated Noah Gregson up to take another spot away. So moves Noah Gregson up 1 spot here.
Hey, a guy that's getting aggressive. Big shock here. It looks like Ross Chastain right now. He's riding around at about 12, and he just gave Eric Jones a big nudge as they moved out of turn 4.
Of course, he won stage 2, but that meant that he restarted the race at the beginning of stage 3 back in 20th. So he's picked up about 8 spots and having used, as you said, Doug, some muscle to get it done.
Here's the leader into turn 3, midway through now. There's Denny Hamlin right there, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. There's Zane Smith. Martin Truex Jr. making a pass on Harrison Burton all 4.
They are side by side as they cross the start-finish line. Behind them, Chris Buescher, along with Stenhouse and Eric Jones.
They'll work to the outside, or rather the inside, and Martin Truex Jr. goes to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get around Harrison Burton. And coming right behind that pair is Chris Buescher's machine.
MTJ trying to make a move here on Harrison Burton, and Burton staying and holding serve with him equally into turn 3. Now he'll take the 19 car, and Truex will get that spot away. Chris Buescher moves up to go to work on the 21.
Truex is now in the 8th spot, and it'll be Chris Buescher going after Harrison Burton right now. And Cole Custer, good to see Harrison run up front. Also good to see him handle a lot of busyness here. They just need a good, solid day. If they could come out of here with a top 15, that's like a win almost, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got his hands full right now on old tires, but he's doing a good job keeping it in the top 10, trying to manage it. He just got to hang on for this run here, and he might have a shot at it at the end.
Again, Burton last pitted on lap 115, the others at lap 139. That's a big difference in tires, but he's continuing to hold on in the top 10.
That's huge right now. Tyler Reddick leading by a full second over Denny Hamlin. The rest of the top 5, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Zane Smith.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a Shakespearean actor.
Oh, woe is me. Wherefore are thy claims help when I hadst a fender bender?
Pardon the interruption, but when you file a claim with Geico, your claims team will be in touch right away.
But willst thou forget about me later when thou needest updates?
No. They'll always be there to, helpeth you out.
Well, I suppose that I should bemoan something else, like my lactose intolerance. Oh, whyest must Derry disagree with me so savagely?
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
I'm what you might call very good at hide and seek.
And since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my super secret hiding spots. So I can kill time in here by streaming my favorite...
Ha! Found you.
How?
You left Find My tablet on.
Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi on the Xfinity 10G network. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
Texas Motor Speedway, 75 laps to go. Tyler Reddick leads Denny Hamlin by a second. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
A NASCAR moment with Doug Rice and Kyle Petty.
They established the Hall of Fame. First two people that get in, besides your dad, is Bill France Sr. and Bill Jr. Now, I'm thinking that your time behind the wheel overlapped with Bill Jr. did.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I was called to the truck many times while Bill Jr. was in there. What I remember about Bill Jr. as much as anything was him sitting and talking to my granddad. You'd sit down at the racetrack and they would talk about where the sport was and where the sport was going. You know, I'll never forget we were doing some stuff and I was called to the truck and I was reminded gently by Bill France Jr. that this was his sport. And if I would like to participate in his sport, that I needed to kind of change my ways. And I changed my ways so that I could participate in his sport. But I think the vision that Bill Sr. had for where the sport could be, Bill Jr. looked at it and said, we're there. Now let's take it someplace different. Bill Jr. had that passion to the day he passed. He had that passion for this sport.
Texas Motor Speedway, 195 laps down, 72 to go. A couple of Toyotas lead the way. Tyler Reddick, 1.1 second lead over team owner Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott, pretty good race today. He's in third, 2.3 seconds back.
Need to document Ryan Blaney back on the racetrack. He beat the DVP clock, but when he got back on the racetrack, you have to run a minimum speed. He did that, but NASCAR brought him on pit road for a 2-lap penalty because there were too many pit crew members over the wall making the repairs, but Blaney's back on the racetrack, so they beat the clock and they took the penalty, and so Ryan Blaney right now is being scored 8 laps down in 34th. Mark Garrow with Cole Custer, Doug Rice, high atop this beautiful racetrack in Fort Worth, Texas. Right now we've had sunshine, Cole, just about all day. Now sun beginning to set a bit and the track coming into shade. Is that going to make a difference?
For sure. I mean, you can really see it going into turn one. It's pretty much all the way shaded in turn one. So that's just going to make your entry way better. It's going to equal the field out even more because everybody's cars are going to drive better. So it's going to become even more of a trap position game as we get closer to the nighttime.
So right now, Tyler Reddick is leading this race. He just ran the fastest lap at 29.6. The last lap, that is 0.2 better than Hamlin, and that was almost a half a second better than Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick, Cole's got a great pace right now.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick's fast. One guy that I would want to see a little bit more out of is Ty Gibbs. You know, I feel like he was so fast at the start of the race, but really he's running 6th right now and doesn't really have much more than that, it looks like right now.
So Ty Gibbs out there in the 6th spot. Cole, thanks a lot, man. We really enjoyed having you up here today. Great insight here and helping Mark and I sort through this race. We appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys having me up here. I mean, you guys make it easy on us, and it's always a blast coming up here with you guys.
And we have a good time while we're doing it as this race is starting to get down to it with 68 laps remaining. And guys, we've talked about this a good bit today, but it's proven itself to be self-evident here. Clean air, you get out front here, it is such a huge advantage because you see it, a car maybe that's been running 10th all day, but he gets out front, Cole, and away they go.
Exactly. If you can work the pit strategy right, that is the name of the game today. And I want to give a shout out. One thing I think is crazy is Christopher Bell does not have a right front fender, and he is still running 21st. It is unbelievable what they still have in that race car.
A lot of speed when you can make up for that. You know, and exactly, the track is so aero-dependent and you're missing a fender. Harrison Burt now is putting the Freightliner Ford for the Wood Brothers on pit road. And again, he was out of cycle by about 24 laps from the other cars as he assumed the lead. First time all season that he has led. So this has got to be a scheduled stop for those guys.
Great looking paint scheme on that car, by the way. It kind of has that sort of Tron type theme that we've seen a few times from the Penske cars. As the laps winding down here, we have been told that that within the next 10 laps, we will have green flag pit stops. And for the most part, you got to think, Mark, those will probably be the last pit stops that we see today.
Well, hopefully, if we stay green. If it gets a little sticky as you get down towards the end, and that's where they pay the crew chiefs the big bucks. When you have the caution with 15 or 30 to go, do I pit? Do I not pit? Do I take 2? Do I take 4? Man, they have some major decisions at that point. So for the guys up front, Cole, at this point, they'd love to see it go green, make that pit stop, and then see how things sort out at the end.
For sure. I mean, that's an aggressive call for the 21, but he needed to. I mean, he was losing spots, so he felt like he needed to really get to pit road. So as long as this thing goes green, it's going to work out for him. But if not, he's going to be in trouble.
Now, of course, he made that pit stop with about 66 laps to go. We heard from Brad Gilley on our Sunoco fuel mileage strategy update. That should give him enough fuel to make it to the end. So they've already shown their cards. If we go green, that should put Burton in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and the good thing is he has clean air. So right now he's making as much lap time as he can right now. So when things cycle through, he's going to find himself in a good spot, I think. It's just he needs it to cycle through. If it gets a caution, he's going to be in trouble.
This has been a nice green flag run, 22 laps, 23 when the leader comes by this next time by. The best battle I see on the racetrack, if you can call it that, is Martin Truex Jr. trying to track down Ty Gibbs. And Stenhouse is in there too, Rob.
Yeah, Stenhouse has hung in there pretty decently inside the top 10. Truex has actually been gaining in the last several laps on teammate Gibbs. Ty has just not found the car handling right as we proceed into this race.
Now, Mark Truex Jr. now going to work on his teammate as they get into turn 3. Truex takes a higher line around the racetrack, not able to really gain any ground this time.
As they come across the stripe, still 61 laps to go in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. And right now, Doug, Tyler Reddick is just driving away from Denny Hamlin. He is piling on that last lap. 4/10 quicker than Hamlin, has made the gap 4.5. Again, the fuel window is open. Austin Cindric now bringing the discount tire Ford on pit lane.
And what you're doing, Mark, is you're building equity into this last pit stop because you're pulling away from the field. 5-second advantage right now over Denny Hamlin, so you can come in maybe, Cole, I would think just a tad more relaxed than these other teams.
Exactly. I mean, it's just the more lead that Tyler Reddick can get here, the better, because he can stay out that one extra lap, make sure caution doesn't come out, and it's just a safer bet for him. So that's really playing into his strategy right here if he can build a big lead.
As we look at Tyler Reddick, Pat Patterson, he is up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4, using a lot of racetrack there.
Yeah, he is on my end of the racetrack doing that as he stays kind of midway down there in turns 1 and 2. Watching him now, Harrison Burton can't fiddle faddle around here. He's got to go fast here so that he doesn't, so that the leader doesn't catch him. Right now, here is the leader, Tyler Reddick, working off of turn number 4.
Reddick coming down the long front straightaway here, although it's not really straight. It is a front stretch, as Mark Arrow told you earlier, a couple of double dog legs in there. A 5-second advantage over Denny Hamlin for the moment. We're being told maybe within the next 3 laps, we will see a big round of green flag pit stops as we see Chris Buescher going down pit road right now. So they've made maybe their last pit stop of the day. Mark, we've got into that window now, 59 laps left to go.
Another reason why these guys want to see this race go green. Kyle Larson has fought his way now up to 18th. Again, this is the man who led the most laps today, led 5 times for 77. If you just joined us, he lost his right rear tire under caution, thankfully not under green. That cost him a 2-lap penalty. He has battled back to the lead lap, back to 18th. Nobody wants to see him get any closer. If we get a yellow flag and he gets 4 fresh tires, Katie barred the door, we might just have to worry about Kyle Larson again.
58 laps to go. Tyler Reddick leads by 5 seconds over Denny Hamlin.
When it comes to maintaining your engine to run at peak performance, trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Z-Max soaks into metal, and it's so easy to add to your oil or gas to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, and transmission. Protect your vehicle's engine to the max with Z-Max. Check us out at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter to find out more about our full line of products. Z-Max for your car, big rigs, small engines, firearms, and more. That's Z-Max Micro Lubricant, available at your favorite auto parts store.
There's a little bit of the county fair atmosphere at a stock car race.
Don't miss NASCAR's biggest stars when they light up historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's the NASCAR All-Star Race, May 17th through the 19th. Champions like Larson, Elliott, Busch, and Blaney battle it out for All-Star supremacy on one of NASCAR's original tracks. Experience live music, racing history, and the kind of fun you can only have at North Wilkesboro. The NASCAR All-Star Race. Get your tickets today at NorthWilkesboroSpeedway.com.
Live back here at Texas Motor Speedway where the last round of pit stops, the round is open. William Byron just pitted from the top 5 for what could be his last pit stop. We expect to see other leaders. Chase Elliott now on pit road, Wendy Venturini.
Chase Elliott giving up his 3rd place position. He said his car has a little tight balance, but it's been manageable for Chase Elliott. It's 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and the second car on pit road. We have now Alan Cavana. Oh, Tyler Reddick has now hit pit road. Our leader coming in. He's headed my direction down pit road. Tyler Reddick said his car has felt very comfortable for him. They are not making any adjustments to Tyler Reddick's car. It's 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. 4 tires. Oh, trouble on the right side. The jack falls. The right rear tire changer is having issues on Tyler Reddick's. They just now come around to the left side. A lot of time lost for Tyler Reddick under green flag. Alan Cavana.
Denny Hamlin was in, is pitting from 2nd place. 4 tires and a long wait on the fuel, but they got it packed full, Brad Gilley.
Ty Gibbs is in right now, pretty happy with the handling of his race car. Just a 4-tire change. A little bit slow to top him off with Sunoco fuel. Also in Eric Jones with the 4-tire stop.
Martin Truex Jr. had dropped to about the 20th position, but he still feels like they can put their car in position to gain some track position and get back up there. Time is running out for Martin Truex Jr. though. It's 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. They hold him on the left side, and he is down and away.
Tyler Reddick, big problems on that pit stop. He came in first. We'll have to see how things cycle out. But Cole Custer, if you're going to have a problem like that, have it early. If you have it late, could cost you the race. That is going to be a big problem for Tyler Reddick to overcome with only 52 to go.
Yeah, it was better than happening under caution, but still, I mean, when you're coming with a 5-second lead, you're a picker that you just need something solid. You can give up a second, just don't give up 5. So, unfortunately, they gave up about 7 seconds there, and now he's a couple seconds behind the 11 car.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin came into the pit 5 seconds behind, and now he comes out about 20 car lengths ahead of Tyler Reddick, and we'll have to see how this cycles out. But when it does, it looks like Hamlin is going to be the leader after everybody has made their stop.
Everything being relative, Denny Hamlin right now is entering turn 3. It's 20 car lengths till you get back to Tyler Reddick. Now, this is assuming all of these pit stops cycle through cleanly, and then Chase Elliott would probably inherit 3rd with Chastain in 4th, but that's not how they're running right now. Chastain is being shown as the leader this time by, and that will move Logano up to 2nd and Keselowski, but they have yet to make their last pit stops. Logano last pitted on lap 175.
Kyle Larson now has brought his car onto the pit lane. Let's go to Brad Gilley.
As you guys talked about earlier, Larson had that 2-lap penalty for the right rear coming off on the racetrack. They managed to get back on the lead lap. Now they're going to have routine pit service. Crew is jumping on the right side of his race car. They've got the right sides off, the new set on. They're going to run around to the left, making a 4-tire change. Drop them off with Sunoco race fuel. Routine stop for Kyle Larson, Alan Cavana.
Ross Chastain on pit road, presumably the last time. Remember, he was the leader of this race on a different pit cycle. They're on the right side running around. Looks like just 2 tires for the 1 car.
Now Joey Logano will inherit the lead. Keselowski, Priest, Gilliland, LaJoy, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Wallace, Briscoe, Suarez, Hocevar, Dylan Hemrick, they have yet to pit. Neither has Ty Dillon and Kaz Gralla. But again, after they pit, it looks like Hamlin will have the lead. Now, before we put too much dirt on Tyler Reddick, that 5-second advantage, he had a problem on pit road, but he's right there with Denny Hamlin, catching Denny Hamlin as they work their way out of turn number 4. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Truex is back down pit road. When I said they were holding him on the left-hand side of the race car, I couldn't see all the way down pit road. I don't know if they got the lug nut completely tightened because they brought him back down pit road and they changed left side tires.
Tyler Reddick now, making a move on Denny Hamlin in turn number 2 as they make their way down the backstretch.
He's got a fast car, and he just made up what was lost on the pit lane. Hamlin, though, holding him right as tight as he can, bottom of the racetrack. But Reddick made short work of Denny Hamlin there after that pit stop.
Not the battle for the lead, but if everything stays equal, it'll cycle back around to Tyler Reddick being the race leader. Brad Gilly.
Somehow, Christopher Bell is still on the lead lap, running competitive laps with all the damage to the right front and the left rear of his race car. They're bringing him in for what could be his final pit service. Back pit stop for them. He is back down and away.
So again, we remain under green. 46 laps to go. Joey Logano has inherited the lead with Brad Keselowski about a half second back.
Still got about 10 cars that have not made their last pit stop yet. We owe our stations a local timeout. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Here's Christopher Bell.
My Toyota Camry TRD race car isn't cheap to build and prepare. I have a pit crew that maintains and fixes my equipment. I have a spotter high above the track watching my back, talking me through turns and potential dangers on the track. I physically train to handle the stress of driving. And I have software helping my crew chief and engineers make the right strategy calls. And with all this, I never take my eyes off the road, and neither should you. One distraction can change everything in one instant.
Bubba Wallace has made his pit stop under green, but Joey Logano, who last pitted on lap 175, we're at lap 224. He is yet to pit. He is the leader, followed by Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, Corey LaJoie, 4th, 5th, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Carson Hocevar, Austin Dillon, and then Daniel Hemrick, 10th, 11th, Ty Dillon, 12th is Kaz Gralla before you get to the first car that has already made that final stop, potentially the last stop. Tyler Reddick in 13th. Again, a terrible pit stop for them, but they came in 5 seconds ahead. They came out a couple seconds behind, and Tyler Reddick, driving like a man possessed, quickly went after Denny Hamlin, made short work of him.
Tyler Reddick's car is on rails right now. I mean, he was able to easily make work of Denny Hamlin, even being 2 seconds back with dirty air. So he's definitely got the class of the field right now, but he's still got 41 laps to go. We'll see if he can hang on.
Tell you who else has had a nice, steady, kind of quiet run today has been Chase Elliott. I mean, I know that's not a shock that a Hendrick car is running well, but Chase Elliott, we've talked about him all day long, Cole, in the top 5, and here as we get down with 41 to go, he's nestled into the 3rd spot.
Yep, I think
he's not technically 3rd, but he will be 3rd after everyone else cycles through if we stay green.
Chase Elliott, Doug, has finished top 10 3 of the last 4 races, coming off a 3rd place run at Martinsville where he led 64 laps. That team, Doug, has been trending, right? Ever since, he had that injury last year, 1 race suspension, kind of a herky-jerky kind of year for Chase Elliott, but they're starting to find the consistency, and it shouldn't be too long before Chase Elliott gets back in victory lane.
I get the feeling that we all, meaning the media, rush Chase Elliott back. Okay, he's back in the car. Same old guy, let's go win races.
Trouble, turn 4. Nemechek loses his car, slams into the wall. That's going to bring the caution out. Everybody scrambles to stay out of the way as Nemechek's car drifts down in the middle of 3 and 4.
That is the 11th caution flag in the Auto Trader Echo Park 400. It comes with 39 to go here at Texas.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I hate Steven Singer. Steven Singer Jewelers is the most hated jeweler in America by other jewelers because they have the world's best gift. Roses are the #1 gift on Mother's Day, but a week later they're in the trash. So get Mom a gift she'll cherish forever. A real rose dipped in pure 24-karat gold, guaranteed to last forever. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com to check out his newly released exclusive red wine rose for just $69. Free shipping, free personalized love note, and free lifetime guarantee. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.
Well, the strategies in this race just got turned upside down with John Hunter Nemechek crashing out of turn 4. We'll come back and set it all up for you right after this. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Racing country, music from the fast lane.
Hey, it's Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country.
Hi, I'm Christopher Bell, and this is the fastest 2 hours on the radio, Racing Country. I still have a lot to prove to compete at the level that I want to compete at. We have more to accomplish in the sport, and we want to do better than what we've done the last 2 years.
Racing country, music from the fast lane.
The Grassroots is where the hometown heroes of Friday and Saturday nights are, and where the future stars of NASCAR are made.
First career win for James Friesen in the Test Racing Sportsman Series.
PRN's At the Track is a people show about the people of grassroots racing. The stories and journeys from the grassroots are always unique. PRN's At the Track covers the people of America's baddest bull rings. Hear PRN's At the Track each week on broadcast radio stations, the free PRN app, or at GoPRN.com.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Doug Rice, Mark Garrow, and Cole Custer, our guest analyst, and we just happened to peek over at the monitor a moment ago, and they're eating Andy's Frozen Custard in the Fox booth. And we have the Andy's Frozen Custard driver here in our booth with us.
But we don't have any Andy's Frozen Custard in the booth.
Yeah, we need some custard here.
Yeah. All right. All points bulletin. Anybody out there nearby Andy's, ship it over.
By the way, I've got to thank Cole for coming up here today. He's done a great job lending some real expertise, and we're going to see who comes into pit road here and has that opportunity to get 4 fresh tires for the last mad dash in this race. Pit road is open. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
Well, these are a bunch of the cars that have to make that final pit stop, so it's somewhat busy. Kyle Busch in, Chase Briscoe in after having a good race so far. The 31 of Daniel Hemrick. Busy section of pit road, but those players like Denny Hamlin, they all stayed out, Wendy Venturini.
The current leader was Joey Logano, who had to still pit. It's going to be 4 tires fuel. He said he was good in traffic, got a little bit loose as time went on. A solid stop for Joey Logano. Brad Gilly.
Corey LaJoy in, a 4-tire stop for him. It looks like this time the fuel stayed in the car. Carson Hocevar also able to take opportunity. He came in for 4 tires in Sunoco.
Thanks a lot, Brad Gilly, for that update here. We'll give you a full field rundown coming up next.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This season, Toyota Racing is looking for jugglers. Not the ones who toss balls or rings. Fans that can juggle the rigors of a 10-month-long season across many different racing circuits.
Well, what if I added knives?
What if you added GR Cup, Formula Drift, and off-road racing? If you can juggle it all, then we want you. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. Formula Drift is a registered trademark of Formula Drifts Holdings, LLC.
Caution flag number 11 here in Texas for a John Hunter Nemechek crash in turn 4. From Texas Motor Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Doug Rice. Join me for the latest edition of Fast Talk.
I wondered, okay, was that real or was that something that just happened in a test session? Well, they proved it was real yesterday.
Let me tell you something. Testing and seat of pants and
being in a car on a racetrack still pays off dividends when you go back to a racetrack.
We have to make sure that we're racing in a market that's going to, percentage-wise, probably give us a good weather weekend.
It's Fast Talk right here on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Don't miss NASCAR's biggest stars when they light up historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's the NASCAR All-Star Race, May 17th through the 19th. Champions like Larson, Elliott, Busch, and Blaney battle it out for All-Star glory at the track where names like Petty, Earnhardt, Waltrip, and Allison became legendary. Experience live music, racing history, and the kind of fun you can only have at North Wilkesboro. The NASCAR All-Star Race. Get your tickets today at NorthWilkesboroSpeedway.com.
Back to Texas, let's check in with Alan Cavana.
I think we were all surprised how Tyler Reddick was able to track down Denny Hamlin so fast. Hamlin just says his car is so loose right now. That's what contributed to the 45 being able to pass that 11 car out there. We heard him say before, Jekyll and Hyde with these cautions. What kind of car will Denny Hamlin have now on this restart, guys?
We've been given the one to go. We'll go green with 33 laps left here at Texas. Tyler Reddick, your leader. Denny Hamlin second. Chase Elliott third. William Byron fourth. Ross Chastain fifth. They did not pit. Ryan Preece took on 2 tires as sixth. So did Kyle Busch. He took on 2. He's seventh. The rest of the top 10, eighth. Joey Logano. Then it's ninth. Corey LaJoie. 10th. Brad Keselowski.
Chase Briscoe is 11th. Hocevar is 12th. 13th to Austin Dillon. Grala rides in 14th. 15th is Ty Dillon. Daniel Hemrick 16th. Suarez 17th. Zane Smith 18th. Gregson is 19th. And 20th is Ty Gibbs.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 21st. 22nd. Eric Jones 23rd. Kyle Larson. Chris Buescher 24th. 25th. Todd Gilliland. Austin Cindric 26th. Christopher Bell is 27th. 28th. Bubba Wallace. Justin Haley 29th. 30th. Harrison Burton.
Jimmy Johnson, 31st, 32nd. Martin Truex Jr., first car, 1 lap down. John Hunter Nemechek is out. Blaney is 9 laps down in 34th. 35th is McDowell. He is out. Also out, Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, and Austin Hill.
We're about to go green again with 33 laps to go. Pace car is heading for pit road. The fans are on their feet. We're getting set for a big finish here at Texas in the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Tyler Reddick in the Geico restart zone with Hamlin right beside him. Green flag comes out. Chase Elliott gives Reddick a big push. He'll have the lead in turn number 1.
I guess we'll shortly find out whether or not Denny Hamlin has Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. I'll tell you who's got Mr. Hyde. That is Chase Elliott. He bolts around both of them and takes the race lead off turn 2.
Brian of Dawsonville, Georgia's got the lead in Texas, and here he pulls the train down to turn 3. Denny Hamlin falls in second. 4 car lengths back to Ross Chastain.
Fans not setting down for this one as Chase Elliott will lead them back to the line. It is going to be Denny Hamlin second, third to Chastain, and fourth will be Tyler Reddick.
Just when you thought nobody had anything for Reddick, all of a sudden he finds himself back in the 4th position. Chase Elliott rides the bottom. Moving up a lane is Hamlin. The gap between the two, 3 car lengths.
Hamlin now trying to close it down on Elliott. Elliott just now pulls that orange and black number 9 down at the bottom of the racetrack. 2 car lengths separate first and second. 4-5 back to Ross Chastain.
When Elliott pulled off that bold move on the restart, it kicked Tyler Reddick back to 4th. He's now trying to regroup as the top 4 have pulled away.
Well, you kind of had to feel like Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain may have had the 3rd and 4th best cars among that front-running quartet. May still turn out that way, but right now Elliott's setting the pace.
Well, that number 11 car's either got the Jekyll or the Hyde going, but he is after that front row or that front position right now as Chase Elliott goes to the bottom of the racetrack. But Denny Hamlin's looking for grip up top.
30 laps to go when they come back to the stripe. Chase Elliott leads Denny Hamlin by a half dozen car lengths. It's 8 back to Chastain. Chastain being threatened by Reddick.
Well, this time in turn number 1, Reddick went to the high side of the racetrack looking for racing room. Ross moved up to block, so retreating to the bottom will be Reddick. He'll now close to within a half car length.
Elliott now leads that field once again by about 8 car lengths over second place Denny Hamlin. Another 8 or 9 back to Ross Chastain. Then you find Tyler Reddick and William Byron.
A moment ago, Austin Dillon took him 3 wide in turn number 1. That cost his teammate Kyle Busch in a big way. But Dillon now looking inside of Joey Logano as they fight for 11.
Austin Dillon really hasn't shown much strength all afternoon long. He'd love to get a top 10. I think that would be a win for this race team. But he loses ground to Joey Logano off turn 2.
Denny Hamlin running as hard as he can now, trying to hold on to that 9 car. We know what happens when you get out in this clean air. Denny Hamlin knows it well, and he closes it down to 2 car lengths.
28 laps to go here at Texas. Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin 1-2. They pulled away from Ross Chastain. He's getting a lot of pressure now from Tyler Reddick.
Total shade now the entire length of the front stretch and into the middle of turns 1 and 2. Hamlin goes even higher in the middle of 2 this time, trying to find some clean air.
It's Chevy versus Toyota. The Chevy's out front right now, and Chase Elliott with a mirror full of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin will stay right at his tire tracks this time at the bottom of turns 1 and 2, or 3 and 4.
It'll be 27 laps to go when they get back to the line. Chase Elliott continues to lead. We'll call it 5 car lengths. They are pulling away, Rob, from third place running Ross Chastain.
They are, and it appears that Chastain's kind of holding up the freight train because he's got them lined up behind him. Of course, Reddick is there, so is Byron, and now Keselowski is battling up through the back bumper of Byron.
And he'll try to make a move here down the back stretch as he'll go to the inside and try to take that spot away from William Byron. He'll get that done. Move Brad Keselowski up a spot.
We've got 26 laps to go. We're going to take you commercial-free to the checkered flag, brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. Leaders back in 1.
It is still Chase Elliott leading, but this time, Pat, he's stretched it a few car lengths. He's now about 7 up on the second-place car of Hamlin.
And that battle for third is a good one. Ross Chastain now trying to fend off Tyler Reddick. Reddick's trying to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Chastain slides up just a little bit. That's going to open up the door for the number 45 to make a move off for.
Reddick shoves his Toyota underneath the Chevy of Ross Chastain. Will edge ahead at the start-finish line. Chastain will try to hang on, though, going into 1.
He battles back, but it'll all be for naught as Tyler Reddick clears him in turn number 2. Closing now is Brad Keselowski. He's within a couple of car lengths of Chastain as well.
Chase Elliott holds that lead, but Denny Hamlin keeps him honest all the way around this racetrack right now. Only about 3 car lengths separate first and second. That battle for third. Here comes Brad Keselowski trying to hang on to Reddick.
After a slow start, Brad Keselowski has been running strong lately. He is again doing that here at Texas. Leaders back in 1. It looks like Hamlin beginning to creep a little closer to Chase Elliott.
That Brad has become that fast in the late going as the late race lead for Elliott now just a car length.
And yes, that car length is all it is as they pull on that steering wheel now down to the bottom of the racetrack. Elliott holds on to that lead. A car length and a half is all he has off turn 4.
Cole Custer, there's a reason that Brad Keselowski looks like a world beater right now.
He's the first one on tires. He's got 4 tires. He's going by Tyler Reddick right now into 1.
Yeah, he'll take the measure of Tyler Reddick. Reddick will fight hard to maintain that third spot, but it may be just an exercise in futility. Slight advantage for Keselowski, but Reddick battles back.
Battle for the lead. Coming into turn 3. Here's Hamlin to the outside of Chase Elliott. He sticks a nose out in front of him. They stay door to door. Door handle to door handle off turn 4.
Elliott creeps up the racetrack, but they don't make contact at the line. It's near photo finish. Hamlin maybe with a slight advantage on the outside as they climb the banking again.
First time in a couple of years that Chase Elliott has really been a potential threat for win. A telltale wiggle in the middle of turn 2. Tyler Reddick slides way up the hill. Gets out to the outside wall, gathers it in, but he's going to lose 3, now 4, 5 positions.
Amazing save by Tyler Reddick, and up front, it's Denny Hamlin who's got that lead. He's got it by about 7 car lengths over Chase Elliott.
They were side by side at the stripe last time by. Now it is Denny Hamlin. Rob Albrighty's starting to pull away.
And as Cole Custer knows, Brad Keselowski is carrying that Ford banner, and that's a mark that has yet to win in 2008 and 24 in any of the 3 top series, but he is definitely closing on the 2 guys in front of him.
Brad Keselowski has a very fast car trying to close down now into turn 3. Chase Elliott by about, we'll call it 7 car lengths off of the leader. Keselowski is catching the second place car of Elliott.
Last time by in third place, Brad Keselowski was 1.4 seconds back. This time as we come by, he's carved 0.4 of a second off that advantage.
Elliott hanging on to second for the moment, but he had a big wiggle just a couple of laps ago, cost him a number of car lengths. Keselowski is now within about 6 or 7 car lengths of second running Elliott.
Denny Hamlin leads this race into turn 3 now. To the bottom of the racetrack he goes in that purple and white car today. He's got that 6 or 7 car length lead. Keselowski bearing down on second place.
13 laps left to go here in Texas. Brad Keselowski trying to break a losing streak that's gone. How many races, Mark Garrow?
106 races, Talladega 2021.
Right now he's in a firm third spot, and Pat Patterson, he's trying to track down Elliott for the runner-up.
It's just a question of how much of his stuff is he going to use up trying to get to Hamlin. He's going to get to Elliott probably in this next lap. Bottom of the racetrack he goes, tries to close down that gap.
Brad Keselowski's tires are 18 laps better than leader Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. They're back in one.
Chase Elliott still trying to maintain the leader's pace, and so far he's been able to do it. Still within about 10 car lengths of Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin may be trying to save something. I'm sure he's been told that Keselowski is coming on the best tires.
They run 1, 2, 3. Hamlin, Elliott, and of course Keselowski. They come into turn number 3 midway through. The separation is equal, about 8 car lengths amongst all 3 of those positions.
It has to be an interesting game of cat and mouse here. How much does Keselowski push it, not wanting to use up all the goodie on his tires here as we are counting down the laps, 17 to go.
And the gap continues to narrow between the 3. About 6 car lengths now, first to second. Just a couple of car lengths between second running Elliott and third Keselowski.
Keselowski now has almost cost Chase Elliott. Call it about a car length and a half to 2 car lengths. Keselowski will go up to the high side of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Try to find a little bit more grip to close down on the 9.
Keselowski had a gap of 1.4 to the leader. He's cut it in half. It's 0.7 of a second as he lines up Chase Elliott in turn 1.
Denny Hamlin can best hope that Chase Elliott will make it life difficult for Keselowski, because if Brad can get by relatively quickly, he'll still have something left for Hamlin as Hamlin stretches his lead.
11 out front, and it's Keselowski trying to close down on that second running car of Chase Elliott. They come into turn 3. Here's Keselowski looking at the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get ever so closer to Elliott.
Feels like an eternity here for Keselowski to wrestle that runner-up spot away from Chase Elliott. He's still 2 car lengths back, 15 to go.
The good news for Keselowski, if there is any good news, is that Hamlin has not managed to stretch out his advantage much over Elliott, as Elliott continues to ride in second and hold off Brad Keselowski.
Down the backstretch they go. Once again, the separation about a car length and a half to 2 car lengths from the second to third. Keselowski working on the very bottom of the racetrack. Not going to be able to get it done this time.
14 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Denny Hamlin leads by 8 car lengths over Chase Elliott. Brad Keselowski with the freshest tires rides in third.
Heard a couple of drivers talking this morning saying you get to the guy's bumper, you'd move him, but you can't get to him. You can get close, but there seems to be that cushion of air between the cars, and that still is maintained second to third.
Keselowski doing what he can right now. Doesn't have to press as hard as you might think with a few more laps to work with, but he's still got to get to the bumper of Chase Elliott, and he's not getting it done.
And now we have the yellow flag is coming out for the 12th time. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has a problem. His car has bounced off the wall. It is now in the middle of the racetrack at the exit of turn number 2. It looks like he's got at least 1 flat tire as he spins that car back around, but a brand new ball game here at Texas Motor Speedway with that 12th caution coming out with 13 to go.
Well, that's going to shake up the end of this race here, and it looked like Denny Hamlin was in a pretty good spot. He was still having to fend off Chase Elliott. I don't think Cole Custer, Chase Elliott, was going to run him down, and it would seem like it was taking forever for Brad Keselowski to get up and get around Elliott.
Yeah, that was the last thing Denny Hamlin wanted to see. I think he had that race in the bag right there with Chase Elliott holding up Brad Keselowski. But that's exactly what Brad Keselowski wanted to see. With him having fresher tires here, a restart where he can maybe be aggressive, he might be able to make it happen.
One name I just want to mention, just in case. Daniel Suarez has worked his way up to 5th place. He last pitted on lap 231. The leader last pitted on lap 213. So Suarez has got some fresh tires, or fresher tires, if you will, than leader Denny Hamlin. Gets a chance now to make up that big gap, which was 4.5 seconds. So Suarez was out of the hunt, but now he's back in it with those tires.
You've got to go back here to about 8th and 9th to find drivers that pitted the same time Keselowski did on lap 231. That's Chase Briscoe and Ryan Preece. I don't know if they have fast enough cars to get up there and race with the leaders, but there's a lot of different circumstances that are going to play out. Probably, I don't think we get this race restarted till we're in single digits to go.
believe you're right, Doug. And again, the complexion of this race goes upside down. We saw this yesterday. What a great race we had for the Xfinity Series. Ryan Sieg trying to win his first career race in his 342nd start. Didn't make it happen, though a close finish with Sam Mayer, 0.02 of a second was the difference. And they were joking today, the general manager, Doug, the Mark Faber was saying, like, we need to one-up that today in the Cup race. Let's make it 1/1000th of a second difference between the top two cars. Well, guess what? We may get that. We're buckle up. We're about to see a great finish here in Texas.
You got Denny Hamlin, who has been the center of a lot of controversy the last couple of years. NASCAR's most popular. And Chase Elliott riding up there. Brad Keselowski, a guy that's gone 106 races without a win. And then a guy that stirs the drink a lot, and Ross Chastain in fourth. I wouldn't take him out of this equation, too. You talk about a guy that's going to get aggressive when they drop it, that's Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Red Cape Bull. That's all you need to know about this restart late for Ross Chastain. Brad Keselowski, what a kind of weird year he's had. Back-to-back DNFs, 33rd place finishes at Daytona and Atlanta to open the year, but he's been top 10 in 3 of the last 5 races. Best finish, a 3rd at Bristol after finishing 4th at Phoenix and 8th at Richmond. And so again, Brad Keselowski, the needle's moving in the right direction for him and Chris Buescher at RFK Racing.
Cole, it seems like you've made all your plays here, because if you pit, you're going to take yourself out of it because you're so far back. What is it they used to say? You got to run what you brung.
Exactly. You got what you got now. Make the most of it. So some guys got old tires, some guys got new tires. It doesn't matter. You got to go out there and try and win this thing.
See, this is when it comes down to kind of like the old movie Days of Thunder. Hey, I'd like to pit. No, we're having ice cream. We're not coming back. You just got to deal with it, finish the race.
By the way, if you mentioned having ice cream, we are now enjoying Andy's frozen custard. It did show up.
So if you whine enough on the air and you have the Andy's frozen custard driver with you, you get Andy's frozen.
I think that actually had more to do with it than our on-the-air whining.
And we got it from the man himself.
Did you text him?
I didn't text him. He was listening to it. He's
okay.
all in. I mean,
all right.
He got us the frozen custard up here. What a weekend.
Way to go, Andy.
All righty. We will smuggle some down if there's any left to the engineering crew in the trailer. But I don't know. Chances of that from this crew up here having anything left over probably pretty small. We got some action here on pit road. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
On my end of pit road, there was guys that were looking at strategy from here. Martin Truex Jr. is going to take advantage. He had fallen to the 30th position after a loose wheel on the left-hand side tires. Now they came in for 4 tires at fuel. Brad Gilly.
Big debate on my end of pit road. Austin Cindric comes in. Bubba Thomas comes in. Bell's in. Eric Jones came in. 4 tires in Sunoco race fuel. Actually, a lug nut actually flew out onto pit road. Tons of chaos.
Who will win, guys?
Always got them up on the wheel every single restart. Actually caused caution after caution after caution. But we're coming down to it now. We'll see if we can make it happen.
I'm not so sure we're done with cautions.
Denny Hamlin, Doug, has won twice this year. Chase Elliott is looking to end a drought. Brad Keselowski is like the man that's been caught in the desert for the last 30 days. He is just begging for some water as he tries to end his 106 race losing streak. So let's see what happens. Let's re-rack them. We'll go 1 to go now. When they come back around, it'll be 8 laps to go when we get the green flag. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, 1-2. Keselowski is 3rd. Chastain 4th. 5th, Daniel Suarez. William Byron 6th. 7th, Tyler Reddick. Chase Briscoe 8th. Then Ryan Preece and Joey Logano round out the top 10.
Austin Dillon is 11th. 12th, Tahoe Savar. Kyle Busch is 13th. Corey LaJoie 14th. 15th, Zane Smith. Ty Dillon 16th. Kyle Larson 17th. Ty Gibbs 18th. Chris Buescher is riding in 19th and 20th is Kaz Grala.
The rest of the top 25, Daniel Hemrick, Noah Gregson, Eric Jones, Harrison Burton, and Bubba Wallace. The rest of our top 30, Justin Haley, Todd Gilliland,
Christopher Bell, and Jimmy Johnson. Pat Patterson, the lights off. We've got 8 laps to go when they get back to the line.
Pace cars lights are off right in front of me, and man, is this going to be fun to watch. Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott on that front row, Brad Keselowski and Ross Chastain. We are ready to get them going. The fans are on their feet. Here we go.
Ready for a Texas-sized finish here at Texas Motor Speedway as they come back to the line. 8 laps remaining. Denny Hamlin gets a great jump on the inside. Let's see if Chase Elliott can battle back to the out.
Well, he does battle back. He'll get almost even with Hamlin in turn 1.
8 laps to go here. I'll say Chase Elliott or Brad Keselowski will win the race. Brad Keselowski has fresher tires than Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott and some other drivers. Anyway, 8 laps to go. Oh, whoa, no, Larson. Damn it. But Chase Elliott's the leader, let's go. Chase needs this win, honestly. What happened?
Hamlin before that yellow flag came out.
Denny Hamlin got the jump on him, it seemed like, right out of the block, Cole Custer.
Freeze again.
Side by side. I mean, it was going to be close.
Why does it keep freezing?
There are not going to be a lot of laps left when we restart this race. There's already not a lot of laps left, but it will be 6 laps to go.
Okay, let me cover you guys. Oh, let me cover you up real quick. Well, get this back.
Let them have that one shot here. So probably somewhere around 3 to 4 laps to go, Mark, when we turn them loose again.
Just in case you were wondering, when Chase Elliott last won, he has 18 career wins. The last victory, Talladega, the second race in 2022, that was 49 races and 42 starts. Chase missing 7 races last year, 6 due to the injury. 1 was a 1-race suspension. And so it's been 49 races, 42 starts for Chase Elliott. For, again, Brad Keselowski, it's been 106 races. So you got some hungry drivers there.
Oh.
All the safety vehicles out of the turn 2 area.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go back racing at any time now. But like you said, we've got to have at least have a quick yellow to give somebody an opportunity to go down pit road.
No, did it freeze again?
7 more laps before we'll be racing.
Red lights still blinking at the entrance to pit road, so we'll see if
Why did
NASCAR
it freeze?
off here in just the next few seconds and allows these teams to make the pit stop, or we'll cycle around for at least 1 more lap. By the way, we are in the Toyota commercial free zone on our PRN broadcast.
There you go.
Without any commercials, we appreciate Toyota doing that for us. 13 yellow flags on the day, and it looks like we'll make at least 1 more circuit around this 1.5-mile racetrack. We put the green out to allow pit road to be open.
We mentioned before we had 11 cautions last race at Texas, so 13 today, 2 more than that. The record, 16 yellow flags in the race. I'm not sure we'll get there, but then again, yellows beget yellows at the end of the race. When drivers talk about the give and take, you get to this point, I'm taking everything I can get, and that usually means more yellow flags.
Pace car coming back around to the start-finish line here. Let's see if they get any indication of what is left to go. No, they're just being shown 5 laps as the flag person holds up 5 fingers saying, we're getting close to the end here. The lights are still on the pace car, Mark Arrow.
Man, oh man. We'll have to see how this is going to play out. Again, pit road is closed, and I'm not sure what NASCAR is going to do at this point, but usually, as you talked about, Doug, quick yellow, they got to open it up at least briefly.
I hope you guys for more races in the future, so like and subscribe.
Cole, the further
it's going to be a white checker here because they still got to open pit road here. There's probably only going to be a couple laps to go here. We'll see. It's going to be tight to see who can win this race. I mean, Brad Keselowski's in fourth now with fresh tires. Can he make it happen with 2 to go?
Tell you what, that last restart hurt him. He went down to turn 1, and I'm not sure what happened with the air. He shot up the racetrack, so Chastain was able to get by him, move him back to the 4th spot. But Chase Elliott's going to have control of this race when they go back to green. Been a long time since NASCAR's most popular driver has been to victory lane and grabbed the checkered flag. And again, as I talked about earlier, this team has really been trending in the right direction. And Chase has said all season long, we haven't set the world on fire, but I'm very happy with the way this team is progressing. And look what we have right now. He's got the lead in the closing stages here at Texas.
Pit road is open. It'll be 4 laps to go. The PA announcer just cranked up Europe's the final countdown with 4 laps remaining here. And there were no takers on pit road here. Everybody stays out.
Well, I'll tell you what we have to do right now. To catch our breath, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
NHRA, let's go.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. It looks like we are headed for a green-white checkered finish. It'll be 1 to go when they come back to the line. I'm Doug Rice along with Mark Garrow. We've been thrilled to have Cole Custer in the booth with us today. On pit road today, it has been Alan Cabana, Wendy Venturini, and Brad Gilly out of the turns. Rob Albright, and of course Pat Patterson, and our race day director has been Laura Beth Barnhart. It's been a crazy affair here. 13 yellow flags. The most recent one came out for a single car incident involving Kyle Larson in turn 2. And up front, we've got guys that have great tires, not so good tires. The guy with the least amount of worn tires right now is Brad Keselowski, but he is back in the 4th position. And when they turn them loose the next time by, when they come by, it'll be 3 to go. So, Mark, when they come back, it's like Cole said, green-white checker time.
Buckle up. Buckle up. It is going to get really crazy.
Damn it.
The last victory was Chase Elliott's second race at Talladega in 2022. And again, remember, that was the year he won 5 times. He won at Dover, Nashville, won the second race at Atlanta, also won Pocono before winning Talladega. So he had really built up some momentum in 2022. We're getting set now to go back to green flag racing. Chase Elliott has chosen the inside of row number 1. Hamlin will go to his outside in row 2. Chastain inside. Brad Keselowski on the outside. Rob Albright, how about picking up the rest?
It is William Byron. He'll line up on the inside of row number 3. Alongside him will be the car of Daniel Suarez. And then in row number 4, it's Chase Briscoe, who's fought his way back after running in the top 5. And then the guy who looked so dominant for so long on the outside of that 4th row, that will be Tyler Reddick.
But when they come back to the line, they'll get the green flag. It will be a green-white checkered Texas shootout finish here today at Texas Motor Speedway. Pat Patterson, I think we're in for a couple of wild laps here to finish this.
Yeah, you've heard me say this before, but this is about the time my Uncle Chick would also say, somebody might get their feelings hurt here. We're going to see exactly how this is going to play out as we watch the pace car bring the field in. And you just said it, there's a bunch of guys up here hungry for a win. Who is going to get it done? People are cleaning off their tires, drivers getting those tires clean, belts good and tight. The fans, while they're not sitting down, they want to see the end of this one. Pace car's headed to
There'll be 2 to go here to restart zone. Anyways, 2 to go. Who will win? Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, William Byron, or Suarez. Who will win? Boy. Let's go racing with 2 laps to go here at Texas. Chase, in terms of where's Brad going? Anyways, Chase, Denny, who will win this race? Yeah, Brad is not gonna win, but come on, Chase. Oh, whoa, whoa! Denny Hamlin hard into the outside wall. Oh man, no! Why Denny Hamlin? Damn it! What happened? Did he get a tire down or something? Oh my! That's one of my favorite drivers, but why? But does Chase win or who wins? Or we're gonna restart the race back? Who knows? But what the? Fans are happy. Dang, that thing is destroyed. I just know it. So here's what happened. Did Chase turn him or did he have a tire down? Who knows? Oh, man, outside so hard. Poor Denny. He had a good car. Everything. Good car. Why another? Oh, the cautions was already outright. Oh man. No, don't freeze on me. Stupid. Let me get this race resuming real fast. It takes me like 30 seconds to do it. Come on, get it back. There you go. What? No, 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 no. Why does it keep freezing though? Wow. Poor Denny, man. He didn't deserve that. Oof. Where's Denny Allen nowadays? Denny fell all the way to 32 spot. Okay, Jimmy Johnson's 30th.
You know, what do they call it? Slam dancing?
You know, that's what I'm here for. We're getting that here in Texas. So, Cole, your home state tracks turned in a pretty good performance today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting. I think these guys, we said it from the start how treacherous this place is. You've seen that time and time again with the bumps, with how slick the track is if you're out of groove. And then you see all these guys on restarts trying to make up spots. So it's just been a wild race, and it's going to be wild to the end of this thing.
We'll reset the field here.
Oh, wait, did it freeze? Sorry. Oh. Oh, this phone needs battery lasts 20%. Just gets over with. Oh, he's in fourth. Yay! With his teammate. With his teammate. With his teammate. I'm gonna stream more races next weekend and so on. So like and subscribe for more.
Inside of row one on the outside, Ross Chastain. You You move back to row number 2 on the inside. That's going to be Brad Keselowski. Outside, it's going to be William Byron. How about the next 3 rows? Pat Patterson.
Well, you look at the next 3 rows there. You talk about Tyler Reddick right there alongside Daniel Suarez. Martin Truex Jr.'s up here.
Where's Schwartz? Oh, there he is.
Briscoe's had a good afternoon. All these guys thinking about what's going to happen on this restart. Here comes.
We don't need the radio. We can find out who will win. I'm glad Reddick is not even gonna win. I hate him. Anyways, I hope this is our last restart. Wow, Ty Gibbs is in 12. Okay. Okay, let me go. I'm also gonna do a short, okay? So that's why I turned the thing off. Anyways, 2 laps to go here at Texas. Brad, can he win? Who knows? Okay, here's another chase. Oh no, they're wrecking! Are you serious? Ugh. No, I heard this in Burton. No, why really wreck? Stop wrecking. Are you guys ARCA drivers or something? Come on now. You're Cup drivers. Who keeps wrecking anyway? I'm gonna turn the thing back on in a minute. Is there a replay? What happened here? Come on. What is this? Don't freeze. Oh, phew. Are they gonna show a replay or no? I'll put you guys down for a second until they go 2 to go for the restart zone. I'll pick you guys up again. Oh. 15 cautions, okay. Imagine there's like 20 cautions, man. It's gonna take so long. What? Oh, Justin has better tires? Oh, Kyle Busch has the same tires as some drivers and Austin. Okay, Kyle has a chance for a top 10. Oh, and Austin. Okay, I go put the thing back on. What the heck? What the? I can't put the back on. Come on now. Imagine it just keep wrecking. That'll be crazy. Oh, let me put it back on.
Wallace on the outside.
restart
Where's
rules.
Kyle gone?
Complete the first lap. The next flag, be it caution, red flag, or green flag, will end the race. But you've got to get in one lap under the green flag, which we have failed to do a couple of times here today. Pat Patterson, it's lived up to the billing, and the last time it wasn't even players that were toward the front that brought out the yellow.
No, you're exactly right, and of course we got to find out just exactly who's willing to do what here in this final lap, and they all know that you need to lead when that white flag comes out. Pace car's lights are off once again. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
It's Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain.
Okay, let me pick you guys up again. Oh, crap. Imagine there's a million cautions. Guys, that's a PS2 though, look. Anyway. 2 to go here, so. Anyway, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing with 2 laps to go yet again. Chase got an alright start. Okay, let's see here. I hope they don't wreck again. I don't want Chastain to win. Well, Chastain has a run. No, Chase Elliott has a run. I think we're gonna get a white here, guys. I'm gonna record on this one. Oh, damn it, no! 1 lap to go here at Texas. Chase is in the lead. Can Chase win? His last win was the 2022 Talladega race. Oh, they're wrecking! Let's go, Chastain Rex, let's go. And Chase Elliott will win at Texas. Let's go. Like Kyle, a 10th place finish? Man, finally! It's been so long. And Chase is the winner. Oh, don't freeze on me. I'll end it here. See you later.